3-bedroom home. Hi, everybody. Sorry, my other tab is making noise. I can't find it to mute it. Sorry about that. I'm like, it's playing a video on the other screen. Hi, welcome to Sci-Fi Vision. I am Jamie. It is May 11th, and this is our review version of Talisman Transmissions. Thank you, everybody, for coming. We'll give everybody a couple minutes to get in here. Hopefully, StreamYard will behave today. But thank you, everybody, for coming. Please make sure you like the video, subscribe to Sci-Fi Vision, and hype it if you can. I just posted not that long ago the interview with Hannah Trami who plays Joy. So make sure you guys check that out. If you haven't, you can find all of our interviews on the video tab, and the ones that were live on our live tab. We had interviewed Samantha Brown and Nathan D. Simmons not that long ago. And we, of course, have Elizabeth Saunders, who plays Donna, coming up on June 3rd at 7 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you check all those out. And also, although we will wait till we get some more people in here, today we're going to be giving away a cameo of Avery Conrad, who plays Sarah. Thank you to Kimberly, who has donated that to us. So that is really, really awesome. We will be giving that away later in the show. Basically, all you have to do is put a hashtag in the chat and it will enter you. I was trying to decide what we should put. I was going to ask everybody what they thought. We need some kind of hashtag about Sarah for this episode to use for the giveaway. Anybody have any ideas? I didn't think of that many things. I kind of was trying and I didn't come up with anything like funny or special. I know Scarlett had that we could use voices or even just screwdriver, but I don't know. I was trying to think of something. And thanks, Scarlett. Welcome, Jessica, Westeros Fletcher, Kimberly. Again, thank you for the cameo. Scarlett, welcome, everybody. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have any ideas, Karen? Hello?
Can you hear me? My VPN is still disconnecting. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're fine.
What can we put? Hashtag a Sarah hashtag.
Something to do with Sarah. Yeah, something to do with Sarah for this episode. I came up blank. Something about the voices, maybe, but I didn't come up with anything unique. I was trying to think and rack my brain, and it's kind of bad.
Well,
I think Bad Roomie's more about Sophia than it is about Sarah.
Don't drink the water. Hashtag don't drink the water.
That works. How about that? That's awful long thing, though. You think that's too long?
Screwdriver. B's got it. Hashtag
yeah, we'll go with that. That's what Scarlett said and what B said. So we'll go with that, two people. Yes. So do hashtag. Wait, don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. I got to put it in the giveaway tool, everybody. So if you did it already, it's not going to count. So give me 1 second to put it in here. I forgot to put it. Okay.
You want to do it? You're going to do it right now?
No. I'm just putting the hashtag in.
And you'll pull it later. You'll pull it near the end of the show, right?
We'll put it in. So just do hashtag screwdriver, not capitalized. And you guys can enter throughout the show. And when we get further along in the show and some more people have joined, we will pull a winner. So far, I'm making sure it's working. Only one person it's registering is entered, but I think it's because you guys did it after. Okay, wait. It's still not working. Hold on. Let me do that again. I apologize. I clicked the wrong one, I think. No, I didn't. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Start collecting. There we go. Okay, now it's working. It's working now. It's good. But yeah, just put that in the chat. And you can only get one entry, though. It won't take multiples. So once you get it through, it won't make any difference. But yeah, please enter. And as long as you are in the chat, you will get a chance to win a cameo with Avery. And for anybody who doesn't know, I'm assuming most people know, but a cameo is like a short video clip from Avery that you can, I believe, tell them kind of what you want to say, as long as it's something polite and not anything weird. But yeah, so thank you again to Kimberly for that. But now, for right now, we will start our review. Yeah, I don't know. What did you think about the episode,
so did we mention, you might have noticed AJ's not with us tonight. He's out having a life somewhere. Not that we don't have lives, but he had a commitment tonight. So he's not here. And we have a few new people with us, at least in the chat, right? So hi, thanks for joining us, new people.
Mm-hmm.
What did I think of this episode? I had to watch this episode twice. As soon as I watched it, I was like, what? So when I watched it, I had people interrupting me and I had to put it on pause several times and it took me like a long time to watch it. So at the end, I was like confused about what the hell was going on. So I had to go back and rewatch it. I think, the show has slowed down now, right? I mean, this season is, it has slowed down from like the season 3 finale and like the first 2 episodes kind of revealed a lot. That's fine as we move into the middle of the season. I don't mind a show getting a little slower, but I sometimes feel like they're generating more and more questions and like never giving answers, right? Are we getting somewhere? Yeah, we got like a good couple of pieces of information this week, right? I think this was great. If you're watching this show, like, because you love like what they're doing with the characters, this was a great episode for you, probably, right? This was a really character-driven episode. I felt a really boy-driven episode in some ways. Parts of it were boy-driven, right? So I liked it. I mean, like, there is no bad episode, right? There's no such thing as a filler episode on From. There can be a slower episode, but there's no filler episode on this show.
Yeah. I mean, I thought this one was one of my favorites. I mean, I thought this one had quite a bit in it. I guess probably because of the story walking. I feel like the story walking was kind of the part I was waiting to see more of that I really enjoyed. And I like that she went back to 1978. I think that was, I obviously, I think people expected she might have, but regardless of that, I don't know. I really liked it. I thought it was fun. I thought the scene was very creepy, seeing her pop up in the middle of the massacre. And although now I look at it different.
No. She popped up at it's over. There's dead bodies everywhere. It's not the middle of the massacre.
I shouldn't say in the middle of the massacre has happened. Yeah. But I look at it, I don't know, now that I think about it, though, I think about it different than when I first watched it. And if you listen to Hannah's interview, there was like both fake bodies and people, like real people laying in the street. So I don't know. That makes me, for some reason, think differently about it. I think that's kind of funny that they actually used real actors that were alive laying there covered in blood as well. So yeah,
really? Cool. What do you think they would be? Dummies? CGI?
Yeah, I just kind of assumed they were all like dummies and props. I guess I didn't really think about it, but knowing that there was like real people laying there for like all day, just kind of hanging out in the blood.
I think it's way cheaper to pay non-speaking extras who just make a little bit of money than it is to pay to make dummies or God forbid do effects of people, right?
That's true.
Not God forbid. That just seems to me like it would be expensive.
But there is actually a lot of dummies too, though. There's a I don't remember who posted it, but somebody on Instagram I had seen that worked behind the scenes posted like the bodies and stuff they had piled up and squirting with blood and everything. So there actually was a lot of bodies too, like fake bodies too, and body parts. But it was a mix. It was a mixture. But regardless of that, I thought most of the episode was pretty good. I guess the part that I liked the least was probably the stuff with Fatima, just because I don't know right now that it really serves a huge purpose, like mystery-wise. Story-wise, with her trauma and everything, yes, it definitely serves a purpose. But that part didn't feel like it moved the story quite as much to me. But everything else, and I didn't, like I said, I didn't dislike that part. And I agree with you. There's really no bad episodes, no filler episodes. I don't feel like.
No. For me, the demand that everything should always be driving to the mystery and giving an answer is not how I want to enjoy this show. Like the idea of what to me, the idea of what Fatima's going through and her attaching it to a story, to folklore, is like highly relevant maybe to where this is going, right? Like she talked about the stories where they take it. Well, I think it's highly. It's if it doesn't ever go anywhere. If she's like, if it turns out, oh, guess what? I can't do magic and bring this lump of clay to life. what does that mean for her? Or is she one of these people that everyone thought they had an answer? And I don't know. I think she's been really underused this season so far. Yeah. And so at least they made her a little more interesting in this episode.
That's fair. That's true. Look, she was, I feel like, underutilized last season too, until the end of the season. And then she became like such a huge part of the story that it kind of, do you think Fatima isn't turning? Yeah, what do you think about that? He's talking also about how in this episode that Kenny says something like how it changes people. And so he's been saying that she's turning, I don't know, into a monster, I'm guessing is what, yeah.
I mean, he just says, I mean, we can talk about it when we get there, but I think this town changes you doesn't mean it makes you into like a killer monster. Like nobody can see what they've seen and not be a fully changed person. Right. And you can't like give birth to a monster baby and not be a change, and you'll never be the same person again. Right.
Oh, definitely.
So, I mean, she's changing, but
I think this theory is literal, though, a little more literal. That's why I asked. Just what I was.
Yeah, curious. I mean, Fatima creating monster, Kimono created her own monster as well. I see you, Fatima. I get it. I'm just not sure. Fatima and Ellis are the hostages you release for free. They are very annoying and kind of useless.
Sometimes, yeah.
There's
a big ensemble. I mean, you can't get around and I know a lot of people are like, sometimes they're like, I heard people say Costa isn't in this one. We didn't get to see it, but it's like, it's such a large ensemble. You kind of can't have everything in one episode with the length of the episodes. So they kind of got to go back and forth.
If we want that, then we need a massacre to kill like half the main characters. So and then everybody can get screen time, right?
It's there's a lot, but I think, like I said, I think the story really moved forward in this episode. I think some people also may have been a little disappointed with what we saw of Jade in this episode, just because it kind of implied there was going to be more, and there still may be, but I think people were maybe looking for like a full blown out. I don't know what people were looking for, but something a little different with the trip.
I told you that I would be very upset if I had to watch an entire episode of Jade tripping. I think it's kind of hilarious that he picked these random mushrooms in the forest. And in fact, no, they're not hallucinatory mushrooms.
I love when he says asks if Kenny's there, though. Not so much just asking if Kenny, but when he's like, is Kenny here? And he says yes. And then he's like, oh, never mind. Like if it's not part of his trip, it doesn't make a difference. Yeah. All right, let's we may have to randomly go through the chat and pick people, because I do not think this thing is updating. Right. I honestly don't, and I don't know what's wrong with it.
You mean
yeah, because it's still saying 4 people entered, and unless only 4 people did, maybe why I'm getting the pictures, maybe you can see. I thought more than 4 did, though, but maybe I'm incorrect.
All right, get yourself loaded up there.
Yeah. I don't know how many people. It might have only been that there's only 4 different people, because it only counts everybody once. Hey, Jen. We'll see if Jen adds one, if it adds it. Jen, hashtag screwdriver to try to win the cameo. And then if you do it, I'll see if it updates, because I know you just came in. So at least I'll know if it's new.
Everybody who just came in, they're giving away a cameo with the actress who plays Sarah. And you can win it if you put pound screwdriver, but we're not going to draw it till the end of the show.
Okay, it updated. So it must just be so many people repeated it over and over again that it looked like a lot more people. Okay, well, there's more than 4 people or more than 5 people in there now, though. So make sure you all do that. How much or lunch or hammer isn't going to work. It's got to be screwdriver. We'll go through. We'll make sure everybody's in there, and it picks somebody randomly. If not, we'll like scroll and pick. Either way, we'll get somebody. But we're not going to do that till a little bit later. Okay. Mm-hmm. So let me ask you. Okay, so in this scene, we have, what do we have? We have them talking about the suit. I was so, and I think kind of okay, there, it's updating now. Everybody was kind of, I feel like probably was. I know Scarlett and I talked about it, but I kind of question they brought the suit in the office. Like, I feel like it has I don't know, maybe it doesn't have more of a meaning other than it's the suit he wore. But it just seems kind of like if there's all these weird stuff going on in the town, I keep wanting to say island, in the town, like I don't know, I wouldn't bring the suit in. Is it just me? Do
Why
you feel
not?
like that? I don't know.
Well, I
'Cause
mean,
I
I
just
feel
feel
like
like
they don't.
something bad was gonna happen. You
I
know?
think you don't want to leave it lying around for more people to find it and ask more questions.
Okay, that's a good point. But I don't know. It just seems like it's out in the open and in the middle of things. It makes me worry something weird's gonna happen. Um and
I think
you're
it
like,
also is
I
like
just
a.
keep saying that to the
I
wall.
think it's also a visual cue to the viewer to remember what happened at last week, because not everybody like thinks about it for 7 days waiting for the next episode, right? Like some some viewers maybe need a little like reminder, like, oh yeah, they found that suit last week.
All right, that's fair. Either way, there's a lot of conversation in here about Victor recognizing it, which that part is kind of, a recap, but they're questioning, who it belongs to, the stuff they should be asking. But I do though like that when they're questioning why, Boyd brought up maybe it's the monsters left it to fuck with us is basically what he says, which to me would be a good reason in the way things are going on in this town that they totally could have. I mean, we know that's not what it's about, but I could totally see that that they just left it to screw with them. But I don't know that
I
it
mean,
could have been their years and not like disintegrated or something. But
I mean, those were all valid points. I mean, I did think like it doesn't look like it's been out there a long time. It doesn't look like you said it's not like disintegrated or anything. But these were points, and like Boyd's point about like maybe the town is messing with us is a question that they should always ask about everything. And maybe if Ellis had asked himself that, and if Sarah had been able to, like maybe some things would have gone differently if people asked themselves that question more often.
mm-hmm.
I think.
Hey Doc, welcome. You just came in, Doc. We're doing hashtag screwdriver for the cameo giveaway. If you haven't entered, make sure you put that in the chat. Sorry, go ahead. I just want to make sure everybody gets a chance to put their name in there in the hat, in the virtual hat, so to speak.
One other thing I appreciated about this scene is that it helped me to clearly figure out who knows about the reincarnation and who doesn't, right? And who
Yes.
knows about the man in yellow and who seems to be now the core. I mean, they haven't told Henry, right? That's uncool. Right. They're keeping that information from him right now. But I appreciated getting to see who is the group, who now is like the key group that's in the know. And they were all there in this room. And now we know who they are. It's Boyd, Jade, Donna, Kenny, Henry, Tabitha. They know about the yellow suit right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I really love, and I said this, in the other episode when they were all talking about Smiley. I really love that they are talking about things between more than like two people because we've all, I think, been wanting this. So I think that's a good thing. As for not telling Henry about the reincarnation, I think that they need to, but I also kind of get that he's probably going to freak out. So maybe decide, think about it before they just blurt out, oh yeah, your dead wife's reincarnation is around you all the time. Because he's so kind of acclimated to everything.
I mean, look, they told Jim that his wife's reincarnated dead husband was there, right? Why? Like, I don't see the benefit. It's eventually going to come out.
Whoop, Karen froze.
Eventually have to
you froze, Karen.
Right? Like they kind of said they're
lost
like
it's
like,
last half.
Not tell him right now. Like I'm not really.
She doesn't know she's freezing.
I think it's cruel not to tell him. I know I'm freezing. I have, it's my VPN. Like,
no, I just didn't know if you knew it because you kept talking right through it.
Oh no, it goes. Yeah, I know when it happens. I think it's kind of cruel not to tell Henry. I think he has a right to know. I think like I'm sorry, it's a little awkward, but he not only does he need to know, but he has the most access to Victor and he can handle Victor the best. And like not telling people stuff is how they got into this. Henry also has tremendous knowledge from knowing Miranda as well as he did, and he's the only person who ever saw the paintings, right? And I just like to not tell him seems to be like they've made this decision that he can't handle it. Or I don't know what decision they've made. They don't actually say that he can't handle it. They're just like, let's not tell him right now. I think it's not.
Jen agrees with you. She said, I was mad they kept it from Henry. I get not the town, but Henry, he just said he saw all of Miranda's paintings for 40 years, which was stupid. So yeah, same thing you just said. Look, she tried to tell him in the other episode. She was about ready to last week, and then she sort of chickened out, I guess, at the last second. But she will. Hopefully she will. That she will soon.
I mean, it'll be awkward, but I mean, I kind of like. I think introducing tension between the characters would be great. It would like we're in season 4 now, and there's only so many people and so many relationships, and to like throw a little like tension in between them would be interesting character-wise, right? Because you're trying to survive, and now you have people that you're weirded out about.
I like Petty though says, why is Henry even here? Sometimes it does kind of feel like that. But hey, he's got to be there to I think to talk to Victor. And I do appreciate that he's like, I'm going to
he was there. He was there when they found the suit and Victor
true, yeah.
wed him. I mean, he was there.
Yeah. Very true. All right, let's see. So but yeah, so hopefully they'll tell him soon, and hopefully he won't freak. Look, after what he was just told by Victor, I'm not sure that finding out about the reincarnation is the biggest of his problems, I think that if it was me, I would be more freaked out about what he finds out later in the episode than about that.
But that's not what they made. That's not what this decision is predicated
on.
No.
I'm just saying, like, in the scheme of things in this town, maybe it's not the worst thing that he could find out. I'm just saying, like, just many things happen. That's all. All right. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. The other thing is that, let's see. Obviously Tabitha still doesn't necessarily even believe it is the other thing. And Jade does. I don't know. What do you think about the fact that Tabitha doesn't seem to believe it? Like, do you think she's just kind of reluctant and doesn't want to believe the crazy shit as opposed to really doesn't believe it? If that makes sense.
Well, it's kind of not believable, right? Like to suddenly like be told, like made to think that you're like, okay, so they got these memories in their heads, but I think for her to be wary that the town could be messing with her with those memories, it makes a lot of sense. Every other person's vision or voice in their head has not been a good thing. And so I think it makes sense for her to think that this could really be a trick. I mean, I'm a bit with Fletcher, like,
yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at.
Like denial, but she believes it. She
doesn't want to,
like,
maybe. Yeah.
I mean, I think there's an intellectual part of her that's like, there's no way this can be true, and I don't believe in reincarnation, and like everything is false, and everything's like a red herring or just an outright lie in this town, right? Mm-hmm. But like deep down inside, there's a part of her that probably just feels that it's real,
Yeah. Yeah. But look, it's got to be scary either way. So even if it is denial, more so than not believing, I get it totally. Tabitha's frustrating. You can believe the monster is no electricity, seeing Yankee kids, but draws a hard line with reincarnation in the Lake of Tears. Look, to be fair, they do this a lot of times. A lot of them do that. They believe one thing and not the other. So it's kind of hard to know. Let's see. So yeah, B's saying same thing, Queen of Denial. This is I'm assuming that Catastrophe is talking about Donna, because I did want to ask you that. I asked Scarlett that too, and she didn't remember either. Do you? Oh, okay. No, I'm sorry. I apologize. I read that wrong. What do you call Henry telling Tabitha that they're talking about that if they're getting separated? That wasn't what I thought it was. I read it too quick. I apologize. What I was going to ask you is, do you remember anybody telling Donna actually about this, or is it something that happened off screen? Because I was kind of like, Donna knows about the reincarnation. Like, when did that happen? I'm glad she knows. But I would have liked to have seen the conversation. And I don't know if I'm just like not remembering it or.
No, I think it happened off screen. And I think Boyd just Donna's like his co-captain and he tells her all the important stuff, I think. And it just, it's possible Tabitha told her because they were spending time, when she asked Ethan asked Donna to watch Ethan and everything, and they were hanging out in the house. It's possible that Tabby told her, but I think maybe Boyd told her.
I guess my issue with it isn't that he told her. I think he should have told her. It's just because of the fact that they usually don't talk, you don't expect people to know things. So yeah, that's just what I wonder. But Fletcher's right too. She could have even put it in the note, maybe. Donna is the man in the hatch waiting for relief. I feel like there's a lot of things in this episode that remind me from, so I won't even go there yet. The other thing I wanted to bring up about this scene is that Boyd does say that he thinks they're losing. He's like, we're losing. I won't say that to everyone, but we're losing and we don't know the rules. So he's willing to push some things because obviously a lot of kind of what has been going on and I think will continue to go on when it comes in, in with Jade and Tabitha is, do they keep pushing for answers because knowledge comes at a cost and all that, and we don't know what those costs could be. But Boyd, that's why he's down with Jade, taking the mushrooms. He's like, we got to figure out what the hell's going on. We don't know really anything yet. But he says he won't admit that when everybody else is there, because they did have the conversation that he can't like show that he's given up or that he's scared or whatever. Well, maybe not scared, but at least can't tell people he's given up. He's right.
Does that happen in this scene in this office where Donna says, I mean, these are two great lines where Donna says, are you okay with him taking psychedelic mushrooms he found in the haunted forest? And I love the way Perrineau says it. He goes, no, Donna, I'm not okay with that.
Yeah.
But we have to do something. He goes on to say, as you said, we have to do something. We're losing. The boy in white says we're out of time and we don't even know what the rules are.
Yeah. Actually, he says kid in white, which I thought was kind of funny just because everybody said everybody up to this point keeps saying boy in white. And he's like, that kid in white. But yeah, there's also, you're right. Also the magic mushroom comment. We probably should though answer the one thing that they were talking about when I misunderstood what she was asking. I don't know. I don't think Miranda and Henry ever were necessarily getting a divorce. Do you? I think that was just Tabitha. I don't think they ever said one way or another.
I don't remember that at all. I have no recollection of him ever saying, oh, we were separated or getting separated or whatever. Right. I thought they were a family and she's gone and she disappeared with Victor one day.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Now, Tabitha and Jim, yeah, they were separated. That we know, but the other group we don't. If Miranda grabbed her kids and tried to go from, or if she went from by mistake, the whole business is shady. Well, this goes back to is only certain people brought there by fate, or is it everybody? I mean, you can kind of go back and forth about that. And then they're still talking about Donna. Well, I'm starring the comments about Donna when we get to that, guys.
Really? I mean, I know there's a lot of speculation about Donna that I prefer not to engage in, but because AJ and I try to avoid anything that came out of a trailer or
this isn't maybe something there I missed was out of the trailer. What they're also talking about is the lines that she says to Tabitha in this episode. Seem like they could be foreshadowing things. So that was more what I meant. Yes, if they're talking about something that happens in the trailer, that I'm not. And yeah, that's the other thing, guys. I know most people have seen the trailer that was at the beginning of the season, but especially on this review show, Karen doesn't watch trailers, and I know not everybody wants to see the new trailers. So let's
AJ
try
doesn't
to
watch them either. Yeah.
AJ doesn't watch them either. So let's try to keep it specific to the episode during at least this chat. But you can talk about it in the spoiler channel in our Discord if you want to. And also make sure if you haven't that you guys, I always forget to put it up, that you join our Discord. I've updated the schedule for everything. And also, of course, for anybody who doesn't know, we have where did my dang video go?
I mean, so these questions about like these questions about Miranda, I've always assumed because Victor had a lunchbox, I kind of always assumed Miranda was taking them to school when they disappeared. But maybe he was a kid that just took his lunchbox everywhere. I just thought the lunchbox equals going to school.
In all honesty, I feel like they said where they were going, but I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but I feel like they mentioned it. But I don't remember.
Matters.
It doesn't. I don't think it matters.
I mean, I do have some questions about, like you said, why all these people came to the town. And I gave you my theory that it's very similar to Lost. That some people are candidates who were brought and the rest of the people were just kind of on the wrong plane at the wrong time.
Oh, yeah, it could be. We really don't.
I mean, there are theories on the internet that there are more people who are reincarnated and we just haven't gotten to them yet.
Yeah. That's definitely a theory going on out there.
Yeah.
All right. So we know about, I think we talked about everything in this scene. And for anybody who did miss it, we did last night do the deep dive where we go in a lot deeper to this that you guys can find on the live tab because we just review it on this show. We don't go quite as deep. All right. So we finally know the pastor's name. So at least we can call him something other than the priest. So there's that.
Not that we care because he's dead.
No,
so
I know.
That's a good point. I mean, it's interesting. I felt like Sophia's going through his things here, right? His meager belongings that they took out of the car or whatever. And I'm like, did you feel like she was looking at them because she's trying to learn more about her supposed father so she can like have more of her story? Or do you feel like she's like a serial killer looking at the souvenirs she took from the victim?
I did not really think into it about I like the serial killer angle, but I don't know, because I did think like, why does she need to look through them? Because he's dead. So like she can make up anything and nobody knows. So I don't know that she needs anything from them, but yeah, maybe she's just curious but yeah, serial killer vibes I hadn't really thought of, but those kind of make sense. That maybe that's the reason. I don't know. Yeah, B says, why does she need to know anything? She could make shit up. Yeah, I agree. I don't think that
in case Kenny read all that shit before he put it in the box. I don't know.
That's a possibility, but like I feel like Kenny wouldn't do that, although she doesn't know Kenny that well. But all right. So this scene is all about Sarah asking Sophia why she decided to live with her. And I do like her answer, because she says she knows what she did was terrible, but she says the pastor father used to say only good people are tortured by the bad things they've done. I know when it comes to Sophia, obviously she's spouting a lot of shit. I'm assuming doesn't believe in and everything, but I do like that line just because it kind of makes you think, like it's true. I mean, it's true that if bad people don't, care about all the bad shit they've done, that if you regret things and you try to change it, is more indicative of somebody who wants to be a good person, at least.
Really? I thought it was kind of a bullshit response, maybe telling Sarah what she wants to hear, because I don't care how not, like, Sarah, okay, is she nice? Fine. Is she susceptible to voices that make her do shit? Yes. Like, who would stay with her? Nobody. She's just telling Sarah platitude that maybe she wants to hear because everybody else hates her and is afraid of her.
That's fair. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it necessarily means shit coming from Sophia. I'm just saying, like, I like the line in general, just the idea of that. Not necessarily even from. I just like the idea of that. But I do think, and I don't remember who said this last night, but the other thing is that because you're right, she doesn't have friends and nobody wants to talk to her. I think that probably ingratiating with herself with Sarah can bring them closer, especially because the whole thing we find later, we had this conversation, like she says, somebody you care about. And it's kind of like, does she really care about Sophia? I don't know that she would, but then again, if Sophia's the only one that is talking to her, then yeah, I guess she would care a little bit about Sophia, or maybe would care about her quicker, yeah, I don't know. But I agree with you. I mean, if it was me, I don't know that I would want to live with Sarah after what she did if I was new to the town. But yeah. It gave the scene with Sophia by the pool more weight as to why Sarah cared so much. She just got hurt. Yeah, that's what I was
okay.
saying.
Yep, I like that. Good point.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So yeah. So that's what that scene's about. And yeah, I think it is to show they're getting a little closer. But I wouldn't yet say they're friends, other than I think the story is kind of telling us they're friends because of what happens later. But other than that, but yeah.
I mean, I think they're cordial. I don't think they're friends.
Yeah, that's a little better description.
If you were friends, you'd be like, if you're my friend, I'd be like, oh my God, Jamie, I'm hearing voices again, right? Or
the person she tells is Elgin, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that says that way. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Let's see, but Scarlett's right. I mean, she doesn't want her to get hurt because at least she's talking to her. I mean, I do think that probably.
I mean, Sarah doesn't want anybody
trying to push. Whether it makes 100% sense, I don't know, but I think that's where it's going.
Yeah. And like, good point. I don't think they're focused on making friends or not in a nightmare town like From.
Okay.
Hey, so there's a question. JT Moore, you're interested in the cameo giveaway. We're going to do it later in the show. The code word, you need to type hashtag screwdriver in the chat to be entered in the random drawing.
Yes, and we will pick somebody later on in the show. Probably at least another half an hour, I'm guessing. We'll see. But yeah, we want to get a little bit further in to make sure everybody gets a chance to put their name in. But yeah, again, thank you to Kimberly for that. But yes, somebody will get a cameo. Very exciting.
Yep.
All right. Well, so yeah, she's going to go make breakfast is the other thing. This is, though, I think leads to one of the really important scenes in this episode, which is that Sophia / the man in yellow is whispering. Now, I don't know about you. This is where I said there's a lot of things in this episode that kind of made me think of From, and at least you know when I'm talking about things. You can't tell what she's saying. I thought it kind of sounds like maybe she's talking in another language. I don't know if I'm just like inventing that in my head that it sounds like that because you can't really tell. But she's whispering. What I want to know is if anybody has tried to figure it out or anybody has run it backwards, because that was immediately my first thought is like, if I had time and the energy, I would record it and play it backwards and see if anything's in there. But that's just because of Lost, not because I necessarily think that. I don't know. Did you think of that though when she did that, or is it
no? I mean, I didn't think of that I would listen to that. Someone should listen to it backwards, or whatever. I thought we're just not supposed to know what she's saying. She's just mumbling something.
I'm sure we're not. I figured you would think the same thing I did because that was what
I didn't think it. And there's a time I would immediately think like, can somebody extract that and enhance it and blah blah blah. But I mean, I thought it was interesting that she had to like take this moment and then like chant something. I mean, maybe all she's saying is like whatever Sarah is hearing. Like go drink, go get this picture of water, right? And that she I mean, it's interesting to see that she now is man in yellow, man in Sophia, whatever, is putting this voice into Sarah's head. There's a good question. So I don't always agree with Fletcher, and Fletcher doesn't always agree with me, but I do agree with this. I don't agree that just because we saw a 10-second scene of Man in Yellow controlling voices, that it was always Man in Yellow controlling it. Sarah could hear them all, dead people, Man in Yellow entities. I agree with that. Like, we know that Man in Yellow is like putting this voice into Sarah's head right now. But that doesn't necessarily mean that every voice everyone ever heard was Man in Yellow. I mean, Elgin had a totally different experience with the way Kimono Lady communicated.
Yes, it does make me think that it's implying, and I'm saying implying, not that it's saying that, but it does make me think that it's implying the kill the boy thing was the man in yellow. But I know not and everybody even agrees with that. The truth is, we don't know, and it's all conjecture at this point.
Right.
But
Right.
I'm feeling like it means that when Sarah heard at least that before, and not the other things. I do believe some of them could have been the dead, spirits or whatever. We talked about that, but yeah. We don't know. Pop Forge says Sarah was friends with Elgin too. She could do anything to anyone though, even Ethan, if she's told to. She probably would. You're not wrong.
I mean, Scarlett agrees. I don't think it was always the man in yellow because she supposedly heard the dead at the bottle tree when her and Boyd were camping. Yeah, right? Like she's heard a lot of different things at different times.
Yeah, I definitely think that was. I just mean like I think the kill the boy was because it seemed to me that was more like a voice as opposed to like the dead talking to her. I guess I don't know. That's how I look at it. Again,
the dead talk to a lot of people, right?
They do.
Was Sophia praying to an entity because the voices continue as she walks down the stairs?
Oh, Sophia, yeah.
Was Sophia like calling to someone else to put a voice in like it? I don't know.
Yeah, if there's somebody above him or other than him, there could be. Seems like he is able to, that's what I keep saying. It is able to hijack control at least some of the voices via some kind of incantation. Yeah. I mean, it's obviously whether she is telling something to tell Sarah things or telling Sarah things directly, it's causing it. That's the important part from there, right?
Yeah, and that's the important thing to take from this scene. Yes,
on the Frumville entity party line.
Yeah,
I was going to say probably a lot of people in the chat don't even know what a party line is because they're too young, but that's a whole nother thing. All right.
So this is a good picture in this scene. Actually, let's come back. We're going to come back to you, Michelle, because I'm not sure if you don't mean that she physically folded. You mean later. So we're gonna come back to you, Michelle.
Yeah. I was gonna say, that's about the other scene. So we'll come back to that. All right. So Sarah is hearing voices. When this happened, I kind of didn't even necessarily think that it was going to be telling her to do something. Like I kind of thought at the beginning that this was just so Sophia could get closer to her by coming down to help her. I hadn't really thought through that maybe there was more to it, which I should have. I think that was very naive not to, but I mean, her being the one that's like, oh, poor Sarah, I'm sure helps her, get closer to her. Not that we really saw much of that, but
I mean, there's some speculation going on in the chat that Sophia chose this house to live in. Like she didn't necessarily choose Sarah as a roommate. I guess she chose this house to live in because it's the house Eloise most loved to hide in when she and Victor were children. But she immediately goes after Sarah. She moves in and goes right after Sarah immediately. So I feel like she chose Sarah. That's just my feeling.
I hadn't even thought of the house. I thought she chose Sarah too, but it's an interesting take on it. I hadn't thought of. Catastrophe says, since we're bringing the voices back, I hope they go back to talking about why certain people had seizures when they first got to Frumville. I 100% agree, especially because we get Julie having seizures all the time, and it's not the same kind of seizures. What does that mean?
I mean, I love Catastrophe because I bring that up almost every week, right? I bring up the seizures all the time.
Yeah, so definitely a good point. All right. So then we have Tabitha and Jade here wanting to know. Part of it's about her wanting to know why Ethan was talking to him and Victor. I was going to say Scott. I'm like, what the hell is this character's name? Victor. And the other half is her apologizing for the way she acted in the barn. Look, she was a bit harsh in the barn. And I think he did deserve an apology. So I appreciated that. And
yet Jade says you weren't wrong.
Yeah.
Like
he gets she was pissed. I still don't know that you should tell somebody you wish they were dead, but yeah, I get
she didn't say I wish you are dead. She said it should have been you.
Okay, she said you should be dead instead of him.
She said it should have been you instead of Jim. She doesn't say like I wish you would be dead. right?
All
She
right.
says
That,
it should have been real.
that's true. That's true.
Which is a totally thing that a person who just lost their husband would
Oh,
probably
yeah.
say.
People say that, whether they mean it or not. People say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, either way, she apologizes. But then the other part of the conversation is why did Ethan, she's trying to figure out like why Ethan came to them and what he was going, talking about. And he tells her about the Lake of Tears and what Ethan said. And then not explain so much as tells her that like sometimes, believing in things like that can help somebody cope with things. And it does seem like he's talking about himself maybe growing up, and at least that's how I took it.
Really?
I thought it did. I mean, I don't know that it matters, but I took it that he was kind of connecting with Ethan in that way and saying, yeah, sometimes you need to be able to believe in these kind of things to deal with shit, is kind of how I took it.
I took it as a general statement that children. I took it as a general statement that children often retreat into the imaginary when the reality is difficult to grasp. Right? I mean, it certainly is like the case with Victor.
Right. I just took it that he said that from experience is the way I took it. I don't know. That's how I took it.
Interesting. That's an interesting take.
Yeah. But the point is he told them because he didn't think his mother would believe him, which is a whole nother thing. But I understand he wouldn't think his mother would believe him just because she's grieving too. I can understand that. Jade's more likely to believe, I think, in things maybe than his mother, he feels like. Not that that's necessarily the case. I could see why he would think that.
I don't know why he would think that, because I don't feel like I've witnessed Tabitha telling Ethan that the things he says or experiences are not real.
No, but I could see a kid like not telling their parents and feeling more comfortable talking to like this guy who's, I don't know. I mean,
he's got a mother who claims she went through a tree and went to another town and she went up a lighthouse and somebody pushed her. Like, she's got a lot of things she's claiming that he's supposed to believe. Right?
That's true. This is true. Yeah, either way, this is also when Jade takes the mushrooms. I like Scarlett's though, wondering why they keep them on the desk. Somebody's going to accidentally eat them. I do not want to see that, but that would be really kind of bad if like Ethan walked in, it's like, ooh, mushrooms, chomp chomp. It probably isn't the smartest idea leaving them there. I had not thought about that. But,
I think they're the only two people in the room, and they're there prepared for Jade to take them. Right? Like,
yes, but I didn't know he was going to take all of them. He shoves them all in his mouth, I think. So it depends how many.
I don't recall if they were sitting there when everybody else was around. It's a detail that doesn't really matter. Although I gotta say, by the end of the episode, I was like, wait, who's tripping here? Could Boyd be tripping? Did Boyd accidentally eat a mushroom or touch a mushroom or something? But then I was like, oh no, maybe it's Parkinson's, right? But we'll get to that.
Yeah. All right. So he eats the mushrooms. Okay, so then Tabitha comes to find Ethan, and he is trying to contact his father on the radio. I do think probably here her not mentioning that was especially because he didn't tell her about the Lake of Tears and went to Jade and Victor was probably the right move, because he clearly didn't feel comfortable with her knowing since he hid the radio. I hope she does like talk to him more about it, especially because he did already tell her that he talked to him. He could have probably told her, but yeah, I think I can appreciate that she's like knows he doesn't want to talk about it, so she didn't bring it up. But yeah, she does ask him, why did you tell them? And he says, because I thought you wouldn't believe it. And, his dad told him he needed to find it. And this is where he says, if I find it, it'll prove it was real and that he's not gone. I think, well, one, that's sad, but in the sense that I'm saying like grieving, like he's grieving, it's sad. Not necessarily that it's not real. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, he's looking for a way to accept what happened. Like whether it's real or not, I don't know, but it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like that he's kind of trying to connect with it and to find out. And I do like that at least she knows now and is going to try to help him through it. So I appreciate that.
Well, I mean, all of the Sarah hate, most of the people who watch the show seem to hate Tabitha. Or I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. Most of the people who comment in our chat hate Tabitha.
I think most people who comment period on the internet seem to hate Tabitha, but
I'm justice for Tabitha. Like, I'd like to see you parent in this environment. And it's almost like, I feel like it's like I know this is not the case, but it's like the writers heard me. I'm like, okay, we're gonna have Tabitha like sit down and have a conversation with her son, and then she's gonna say like, okay, I'm not letting you go by yourself, and then she's gonna say, I don't like. People were complaining that she doesn't know these people and she leaves Ethan alone all the time, and that with them. And then in this episode, she says, Randall, I don't even know you, and she like said all the things that everybody was complaining that she never said.
I think she made good decisions in this episode, and I kind of joked about it last night because I knew you were going to come back and be like, see, she's a good mother. She did make good decisions in this episode. I agree with you there.
It's not good mother.
Her decisions.
Not good mother, bad mother. That is not.
I'm just saying. I do
think made here.
Yes, but I think in this episode she made good decisions. Is my point. I agree with the stuff.
I don't know. I don't think going to the settlement is a good decision for any of them, except that the people that have to go get the food. I don't really like. I like. It's not black and white like good decisions, bad decisions.
It's not. But to me, it's not about her decision to go to the settlement. It's about the fact that she said, "Hey, if I don't go to the settlement, he's going to find a way to sneak out there on his own anyway." So
that's true, right? That's true.
Yeah, I don't think going there specifically was necessarily a good idea for anybody. I agree with you, but other than they need food. But yeah, and thank you. Anything for freedom is bringing up the point of the interview I did with Catalina. She did talk about Tabitha's parenting in the interview, which is of course up if you check our video tab, as is the interview with Hannah from last week.
Yeah. Well, did she mention you're judging someone's parenting style who lost their son and now their husband and right?
Well, she kind of defended her parenting. And look, I didn't say something to her like, oh, I don't like her. She was just saying probably because she knows a lot of people have said things. Yeah. But she kind of talks.
She had to be married to a horrible guy who I hate. I hated Jim.
Fair. But yeah, I had asked her kind of like explain this decision about trying to go through the tree and all that. So she did talk about that. And whether or not she believes Ethan as well. Yeah. All right. So yes, so she is going to take him to settlement. Now we get into the stuff with the story walking. He says Tabitha needs a better character arc. Want her to step it up and be more like Carol on The Walking Dead. I'm not sure Carol is the person you want around your kids. MGM.
Carol loves kids and took care of a lot of kids.
No,
that kid was a danger to everyone.
She was. That's true. No, I'm just teasing. She doesn't always do well with the kids, but no, she did at the beginning.
And she did great. She had the strength to kill a child she loved. It's really heartbreaking. It was a heartbreak. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah. It is.
All right. So this bit with the books. And it is Randall who finds a story walker. He finds a reference to they're reading the Grand Gulagog, right? And he finds Fred, Storywalker Fred is a character in this book.
Yes. And And Julie is reading the criminal.
Right? Yeah.
Let me see it. We have there's the picture. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about this. And obviously, I know we don't get in as deep into the discussion here, but we have, like you said, Storywalker Fred telling the Grand Gulagog about how to make bookmarks. And this becomes what Julie does later. Now, I just want to point out to you, because I'm guessing you probably don't realize this, because I didn't realize this until we read it during the show, that it actually explains that's how he made the bookmark. I thought Julie was just like, it says to make a bookmark. This is how I'm going to make a bookmark, and like made it up. But it actually says in there how to do it, which I had not realized, and I think is interesting.
The first time I watched it, I was like, what's with this symbol? What is she talking about? And then the second I watched it, I saw it in this little picture. I did not enlarge and read whatever's on that text there.
Yeah, well, that it explains about how he made the bookmark, basically. Agree the whoops, I clicked the wrong thing. Fletcher's saying I wanted to see more about the flight of the Cromanockle, and they gave us Fred and the Gulagog. I kind of agree, because the other book we've heard more from, so maybe that was a little more important. I'm not sure if you started this or I accidentally started the wrong one, but Scarlett says elevator goes up to 4 and down to 7. Probably does. So yeah, that's what all that's about. And look, Randall doesn't think it means anything. He's kind of like thinks Julie's out of her mind a bit for some of this, but
I think he's on this journey because he needs to protect Julie from herself.
Yes,
which is he's not entirely. I mean, he's kind of right.
Yeah, but again, in this town with everything going on, why is it that you choose not to believe that? It's just funny when you think about it because of all the crazy shit that goes on. Like, how do you know what's a little too crazy and what's just crazy enough, right? MGM says, I find Julie and Randall's interactions hilarious. He's like all skeptical, but like the character literally named Storywalker Fred. Why is this not sinking in? Well, his name is Storywalker Fred, but that's clearly where Ethan got the name Storywalker from. Which I kind of wonder, like, why didn't Ethan say, here, read the book, instead of giving Julie all the information, which is funny.
Because then she would have no storyline. But
all right,
that's just know it. Yeah.
And also, I do find it funny that there's a bird there, and it does kind of look like a crow, which is what they're pointing out in the chat. Or a starling, we don't know. It looks like a crow, but yeah. All right. So I do find it funny, though, that whenever Tabitha comes in, they hide the books. Like, obviously nothing was going on and nothing's going to be going on. We don't want anything to go on. I'm not meaning that. But I do think it was funny how they're all like shoving the books away. Like they make themselves look guilty, right? When she comes
they have to hide the book. She doesn't want her mother to find out what she's planning.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying it makes them look guilty the way they act. I think it's funny.
Like to have to, like for them to have to explain like why they're reading Ethan's children's books. They do not want to have a conversation with her. Right?
That's a good point. You guys are sitting there reading kids' books. Why? Yeah. Yes, that's yes, Scarlett. That's kind of my point. Like he didn't give her the books, but he never mentioned really much about anything other than calling it Storywalker.
Was one of the finger puppets named Fred? Was one of the finger puppets named Fred?
No, it was Harold. Shit, now that you did that, I'm like thinking, what the hell was its name? Chat, what was its name? Harold was the one they didn't mention, but what the hell was the other one?
It wasn't Fred. All right, doesn't matter. As long as it wasn't Fred.
I knew it until you said that, but now that you said that, I'm never going to remember what it is.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Norman. Thank you. It was Norman.
Yeah, it was Norman and Harold. She thought they were making out because of that book deal. I hope not. We don't want that.
Why? I think because you think he's too old for her, right? I don't know how old he's.
No, yeah. You got to remember, everybody got to remember, Julie is still like a teenager, and he's supposed to be.
But how old is he supposed to be?
I don't know. I assume he's supposed to be like in his 30s, but let's be real. We were never told. The point is, Randall's an adult. She's a kid. So it's not okay. Regardless, could it happen? Probably, but we're not shipping that. Let's put it that way, right?
I don't ship anybody, but
no, I don't either. But anyway, they do look okay. See, Catastrophe says I'm assuming late 20s. He's definitely older. Let's just say that. Crow. I like that, Stretcher. You are stretching it a little bit, but I kind of like that. Crow Norman is like Cromanockle kind of.
Oh my God, you're stretching it. Let's. Yeah.
And yes, Julie's supposed to be 17. You're right, Scarlett. Okay. Anyway,
I mean, so what's funny about their relationship is that, like her parents are like suspicious of. So actually, I think that maybe Jim was suspicious of Randall, but what Tabitha kind of clearly is not really. What Tabitha says, she understands what's going on with Julie and Randall far better than I thought she did.
Oh, I agree. But look, I also can kind of understand that maybe a father as opposed to other, to some extent, like he's a guy, like, maybe you usually hear those conversations where a father will be like, I know what teenage boys think or whatever. Well, he's not teenage. You know what I mean?
I
He's
think Jim is just a big know-it-all who jumped to conclusions constantly and thought he knew everything constantly and wouldn't listen to his daughter when she told him, and wouldn't listen to anybody. Wouldn't listen to Randall, wouldn't listen to, right? But
you're right.
Tap of the seas.
This is the thing, though, and this is what I said last night. The point is she needs to trust Julie, and it obviously was never about Jim not trusting Julie. It was that he didn't trust this guy with his daughter he didn't know. So I can still like appreciate that. It was never, as long as they trust her, which is what's important. And I think Tabitha trusts her daughter, and she's like, hey, she needs this, but if you do anything, I'm going to kill you. So it worked out. But yes, to answer your question, Fletcher, Julie is supposed to be about the same age as Sophia, which, is neither here nor there, because obviously she is older than that too in real life. Seems like they're kind of addressing it and nixing it, and it seems like he's more big brother mentor. Well, MGM, I know Kimberly last night was saying, which I think might be true, is that they might have even kind of added in like this little funny scene kind of to say to the people, no, it's not happening, because there have been a lot of people kind of questioning it, and I think it's kind of funny. I
think their friendship is about, really, they're in this place under these extreme circumstances and they don't have anybody else. Like Julie was pretty angry at both of her parents when they arrived only 48 days ago, and there's nobody her age there, right? And she doesn't really have friends. I thought her friendship with Fandom and Ellis was like a little inappropriate also at the beginning. Except that they were more taking her under their wing, right? And she was like trying to like be their big friend. So basically, because she wanted to live at Colony House. And Randall is like doesn't really have a friend there. Julie's like his first friend, right? There in town. And they did go through a thing together with had that whatever they had, right? When the three of them were in there, like that state they were in for a while, right? Like they do have a connection of having gone through a bad thing together.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring up, because I know we have some new people that just joined us. If you want to enter the giveaway to win the Avery cameo, make sure that you type #screwdriver into the chat.
Does everybody know what cameo is? What you're winning?
Yeah, I had said it before, but I'll answer it in, because you're right. Not everybody knows that. Cameo is a video clip from Avery directly to you that you can kind of say tell them what you want to say. A little message. And that came from Kimberly, which we appreciate so much. It's so awesome. So thank you for that, Kimberly.
So type #screwdriver to be entered.
Yes. Oh, that reminds me. I completely forgot. I didn't play I forgot. I'm just remembering it now, because I was just going to say a cameo is what Dieter was so nice before to give me of Chloe that I played that one week. But I was going to say, I forgot. I queued up my video here, my little other new shout out. Let's see if it'll play, because I forgot to play it. See if you can hear it. Tell me if you can hear it. If you can't, I'll cry, but you should be able to hear it. I think I figured it out, right?
Hey everybody, make sure to check out SciFi Vision for weekly deep dives about Friends.
Could you hear that?
Yes, very nice.
Okay, good. It worked. Yay. I do not understand why I cannot upload directly to StreamYard videos, because I know AJ's done it, and I did it before because I got that Chloe video up, but when I put it up, it just doesn't work. But anyway, I just wanted to play the shout out before I forgot. Sorry, because that was really nice of her. So I wanted to do that. Okay, I lost where I was at. Yes. I think the talismans are really awesome. I'm excited for you guys all to get them when they get there. But obviously the Etsy store has to send them yet. But yeah, I know a lot of you won that before. Julie is an Avenger. I like that. Julie's an Avenger. She kind of is. I like Julie. Julie's she's the one going through it right now. She's pushing through. Okay, so yeah, the point that I was making that I skipped because we got off track is that Tabitha tells her she's going to the settlement and taking Ethan, and she tries to get Julie to go with her. And Julie's a teenager. She's like, I'm not going. You know what we realized though that was kind of funny last night we were talking about? She's like, oh, it's not like that, which it's not with Randall, but she's like, I'm going to stay with Marielle and Christy in the clinic. We forgot Randall's living in the clinic too, which is kind of funny because she said that. I was thinking he was back living on the bus, but he's still in the clinic too.
Yeah, but there'll be chaperones there. They'll be
right. No, there will. I just meant that the whole idea was funny because I didn't think about the fact she's like, oh, I'll be staying with them, but he's actually there anyway, so it's funny. But
yeah, I mean, I think she just means that she won't stay home alone. She'll stay there, and these other two people are there.
Yeah. No, I just thought it was funny when I realized that because I didn't think about it. I completely forgot about that. All right. So what time is it? I'm trying to look at the time.
Yeah, let's
give everybody a little bit longer. Yeah, we'll do the giveaway soon. I just want to make sure everybody gets a chance.
To be in the
enter. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that was what that conversation was about. And then she tells, like you said, she tells Randall, hey, Julie trusts you. That's what she needs, but don't break my trust. Or I'll do something really bad to you. I would have liked her to almost, I mean, she didn't need to, but I think it kind of would have been funnier if she had like an actual threat or something, but I don't know. Either way, she's trusting her daughter, she's given her what she needs. And right now, Julie needs some space, I guess.
Well, I mean, that's the lie. What she needs is to go on her own secret mission she doesn't want her mother to know about, but she's acting like she just doesn't want to go, right?
Yes. And being a teenager. But I don't know. As I said last night, I feel like it kind of surprises me a little bit. And it is, I think, just because of the story walking. But I feel like, I don't know, if I lived in that town, I would not be leaving my family, especially after that just happened. I'm too paranoid. I'd be like, nope. And would not do that. But I get it.
I mean, what is she going to do? Like we had this, she can't make Julie go. She can't not take Ethan. Like, what is she supposed to do here, right? She goes with
we got a new subscriber and my pop-up worked. Sorry, I'm just excited my pop-up actually worked. Thank you, Dark Hand, for subscribing. I keep forgetting to add that back in, so now I know it works. Yay. Yeah, sorry. You could see how easy I get sidetracked.
Yes. I think she elects to go with the child that needs more supervision right now and to, trust the.
Yes. And like I said to you earlier, I do think that her going with Ethan so he doesn't run away and do it on his own is a smart decision because we already know he might do that. We don't want him to turn into Carl. We have enough of that.
Yeah.
All right. So, yes. So thank you, Lee Moncure. I don't know. It might be if you just did it now. It might be because it's behind a little bit or because two people did it at once. I don't know. Okay, so Fatima tells Ellis, I was going to call him Ethan, I don't know why, tells Ellis that he can go to the food run because he's kind of worried about going to the food run and leaving her there.
Because he's a useless and pointless character that she needs to get off screen so we don't have to waste our time with him. He is really underused.
He is. I do agree he is. I like that. I mean, I don't dislike Ellis. I like Ellis, but they need to give him more to do. I totally agree with that. He kind of just exists right now to be Fatima's husband and Boyd's son. But it's kind of funny because I feel like usually we're complaining the opposite and saying not necessarily in this, but I mean in general in television, we're always complaining and it would have been oh, Fatima is just there to be the wife, So I at least appreciate they give the woman a little bit more to do in that sense. But yeah, he needs more. He needs more story. But there is a big group, so it's hard to some extent to fit them all in.
Yeah.
But, tell them to go. And then Donna tells Kenny to, kind of look after her to. He took Fatima to a cheap rage room, and that's it. You're not wrong. Catastrophe.
All he did this season.
That's funny. That is pretty much true. Donna tells Kenny to take care of it. They haven't, to be fair, they haven't given Kenny a whole lot this season either.
No, he's underused. Donna, everybody who was major in season 1 is totally underused this season. Well, we have a bunch of new characters who are kind of interesting, but The A team is really not having much to do.
Yeah. B says, I would hate leaving my kid alone, but she already left Julie to be mini mom to Ethan. If she trusts her with Ethan, she can trust her to take care of herself. All right. Fair. Okay. I'm going to star Levy McCure's their statement for when we get to the boy in white.
Okay.
Oh, wait, the boy in white isn't in this episode, is he? Well, Jade hasn't gotten to Jade. We'll do it when we get to Jade's.
He'll be mentioned later, but yeah.
We'll get to him when he gets there. All right. Okay. So Tabitha comes up with Ethan. Do you care if we come? And of course, Dawn is like, sure, we can have more. So they're going to go to the settlement as well. And then Fatima sneaks upstairs to go back to Elgin. It's funny. I don't know if it's more she doesn't want people to know she's talking to Elgin, because she says to Boyd later, like, I wasn't hiding it, but yet she keeps like acting very sneaky, like the way she keeps looking around, like, I don't want anybody to see this. So yeah, I don't know. Do you think it's just because of Elgin, or do you think she really was kind of hiding it?
No, because the cover story is that Elgin was helping her, and that's how he lost his eye. Nobody knows what really went down between them, so there's no reason for her to be not seen with him or to be avoiding him, or for people to think she doesn't want to be seen with him, right? Like, yeah.
So do you think she's just kind of lying to Boyd, or I don't know? What do you think then about that?
I mean, she does act squirrely, like she doesn't want it. She's like, I wasn't hiding it. Really? Then why are you doing it upstairs in your bedroom and not like in the living room or outdoors or in any place else, but on the third floor, right?
Yes, like where the floor is going to cave in. We've had this discussion last night a lot. The floor is going to cave in.
It's funny. I was at the hospital today, where I go to physical therapy, and like right before I got in there, like a piece of the ceiling fell down and all this water poured through it.
I hope you weren't under it.
But then I came home and watched this, and I was like, when I saw the water dripping. Yeah, I agree with you. She's acting squirrely. She says I'm not hiding it, but she's hiding it, right?
Yeah, she is.
Like, and okay, maybe she's hiding it from everybody because it sounds insane to be building a golem in like the house, right? And people are gonna like not follow her or be afraid. And I'm thinking of like the golem episodes that we've seen on like X-Files, and that we saw. What else did we just watch where there was a golem? Oh, I just watched. There was one on Supernatural, which I watched not that long ago.
So did you think it was a golem? I automatically thought of the golem because of X-Files. That was the only reason
I thought of somebody mentioned it in the chat last week. Yes. Oh, I bet she's building a golem. And I was like, no way. And then totally I'm like, oh, you got the chat strikes again.
Yes. Yeah, no, that was B. She had guessed that then. I think some other people did too, but I remember B had said that. And that's what she says.
Yeah.
All right. So,
but she is acting. She says she's not hiding it, but she was totally hiding it.
Yeah, she was totally hiding it. I agree.
I mean, she won't even tell Ellis what she made Ellis haul all that dirt upstairs, and she won't even tell him what she's doing. So, are you hiding it? Yes.
Yes, that's very true. I didn't even think about the fact she's not even telling poor Elgin, who just carried all that up in that little tiny cooler. Excuse me. He must have made a lot of trips, right?
Yeah. I want to take this question before we lose it.
Okay.
Fatima creating something for protection, mirroring what they did in 1506 at the village. Oh, no, that's not the question that I want. I mean, okay, that's fair, but that's not. The chat is going so fast that I can't keep up with it. Someone has just posted a question about the town doesn't like things like tarot cards and other kinds of protective things that you do. And so will there be consequences for her engaging in this activity?
That was what I was going to put up. I didn't even see that was what you're talking about. We'll find a mistake back. Town doesn't like this type of things, such as tarot cards. Yeah. We don't know what's going to happen. Let me ask you though, because we did discuss this. Do you think that like this thing's actually going to come to life, or do you think it's more just like to help Fatima out, or do you think it doesn't really matter?
So part of me is like, oh well, like she doesn't like have powers or magic to make this happen like we've seen in other shows, but like a golem is from a religious tradition, right? Like they don't really mention what religious tradition. I think when we see it in Supernatural, it's from a Jewish tradition. And I think there are other like faith and folklore that have the idea of a golem. Um and so could she bring it to life through faith, which is what these traditions teach, right? Through her faith. I mean, I think in Supernatural they read some scroll from like the Torah or something over the creature to activate it or whatever, right?
I'm pretty sure it's Jewish, and she mentions different, like her father said about different religions, so
yeah,
it definitely could be meant as that.
I don't know that she'll be able to do it.
Yeah, I just want to bring up Joyce here's like, yeah, the X-Files. That was definitely my thought. Yeah. I immediately connected with that, but everybody knows I'm, love X-Files.
Lee says, I don't think it'll come to life. I think a spiritual impact on the entities. To life, no. Spiritual, yes. Okay. All right. Yeah. Like we won't actually see a creature stand up and walk around and be like, Fandom, what can I do for you? But but that there will be some other impact or protection on her or something. Yeah. I mean, this is very, there's been a lot of speculation about the introduction of a Bible into the town, which they appeared to maybe not have had previously, right? Not maybe, they didn't have one. And there's a lot of quoting from scripture by a false prophet, sort of, so to speak, in Sophia, right? And then to have this, the most important question, if the floor will hold that weight. Seriously, plus all that water up there. But what was I gonna? I forget what I was saying. Anyway, I lost my train of thought there when you.
That's okay. That's okay. I didn't want to bring up Michelle's
Sorry, Fatima is acting kind of creepy and matter of fact, like it's totally normal to be constructing a dirt structure up in the attic. Yeah, she is acting really weird, and I think that's what Kenny's getting at later when he says like she's acting weird. This is not Fatima, right?
Yeah.
But like there's like so much about faith is going on this season, right? Like that she's like it's an act of faith what she's doing right now.
Yes. I do like though. I had never thought of. Joyce said, "I wonder if they took Gert from the graveyard." That could make a difference. I feel like now that you said that, I'm like, thinking of that.
Here's a good one. Imagine she's going to make this big monster and killing Elgin to bring it to life. My blood is your blood. The idea that she would perform a sacrifice to bring it to life is really frightening. Wow,
it is. But like I said, we need to have a verses on this with all the different things. Okay. So they talk more about it later. Right now, this is more about. Okay. So this is where Victor's measuring the trees. And he gets his father to help. His father's busy trying to ask him about the man in yellow, and he doesn't want to talk about it. He does eventually get him to talk about it, but at this point, he's just kind of like, "Oh no, I'm busy measuring the trees. I haven't done it in a while." And are the trees moving? I don't know. Things are changing. It's seems like it might be an important thing, whether or not the trees are really moving or it's just Victor's feet grew. I don't know, but he does get his father kind of involved, and he's trying to help him out there. Made me think Victor teaching Henry tree measure made me think Victor was passing the torch to Henry, meaning we might lose Victor this season. Interesting, but to be fair, he did teach Ethan a while ago too, Fletcher. So he already did that. But yeah, I hadn't thought about that. I think I know Kimberly thinks it's Henry that's a goner, so I don't know. We got some differing opinions of what's going to happen with this, but we'll see. So yeah, that's what that whole scene is about. That they don't really have any conversation there other than measuring the trees. And yes, I know MGM. He's not just his feet. I'm just joking about it, but it does seem like it's important that the town's changing, and I do like that they've enabled, like they've brought in about the changing seasons and the boy in white growing older, even though those are things that really happened, and I like how they incorporated it and used it in the story. Okay, so then we have Kenny who follows the whoops, did not mean to do that. Who follows the dripping water into Fatima, and he worries about her. And he goes to tell Boyd, but first Boyd is looking at his wife's effects. He looks at the letter his wife gave him about what groceries
for.
Yeah. But the important thing is he takes out, which also looks like he has a pair of glasses, we noticed too, but they don't mention that. Takes out a ring, has the infinity symbol on it. This is supposed to be his wife's ring, we are assuming, and that comes into play later in the episode. Then we have Jade. And this is the scene that I told you I really love, when he's like, Boyd, is Kenny really here? And then he's like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, never mind. Like, doesn't matter. Kenny doesn't matter unless he's fake, right? I just thought that was funny.
Well, he's tripping, so he doesn't know if what he sees is real or not. And I guess he wants to know, like, if Kenny's not really there, then he'll know his trip has begun.
Yes, yeah. I just thought it was funny. Either way, I like that scene. Just a reminder to everybody, make sure you put hashtag screwdriver in the chat to be entered to win the Avery cameo. We'll probably wait like another, I don't know, 15 minutes or so, I guess. Let's say.
Right, and then do it. Yeah,
we'll wait a bit yet, but we don't need to wait till the end. But I do want to wait at least partially, and that way we know if people are here and everything. But yes, he thinks he might be tripping there. He isn't sure. What the heck? Hold on, I lost my window I had open. Where's I keep losing what I have open.
So Kenny has showed up here to be like, something's up with Fatima. You need to come up to Colony House, right?
Yeah.
That's the point of this. And so Eagle-Eyed Scarlet, I've been waiting to earlier when we were like, oh, why did they leave the bowl did they leave the bowl there? Who cares? No, Scarlet's correct. Like, Boyd and Jade leave. He only ate 2 mushrooms, and thank you, Scarlet, they do leave this bowl of mushrooms on the table as they vacate to go up to Colony House. So you're right. They irresponsibly left supposedly magic mushrooms lying around.
Yeah. I don't know. It looked like he took more than 2 to me. He shoved quite a few in his mouth, I think. Not that it necessarily matters.
It really matters. It was just, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure you guys, I was going to say the entries are working now. So if it didn't pick up your entry before, as long as you've been here and put your entry in now, it should work. Yes. All lowercase, just hashtag screwdriver. I didn't even, it picked up Mackie's too, though, because I saw it pop up when Mackie did that. So, but yes, I did do it lowercase. So I would say use lowercase, but it did pick us up. But maybe do it again and make sure if you did it big.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So they do go to call now. But first we have Sarah.
Oh, Sarah's in church.
Yeah, she's in the church. The first thing I immediately The first thing I immediately thought of this, and I said this last night too, though, is this seemed to me really, I mean, yes, it parallels when they first met, but it to me parallels the scene at the beginning of the season with Elgin sitting in the kitchen and Fatima coming in and him being like, oh, I'll leave. And her being like, no, you don't have to. And them talking and kind of working a little bit out. And being able to be around each other. I don't know. That's what it immediately made me think of. I don't know if I'm the only one because nobody seems to be saying that, but that's what it made me think of. So yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the point of what Man in Yellow Sophia seems to be doing, trying to divide them and make them, create space between them.
Yeah.
Hey, Mackie, you got a question about the talisman that you won recently. Jamie just said, you must have missed, Jamie said the Etsy store hasn't sent them yet, or
Yeah,
they're
Dieter's just putting them in, but so the Etsy store has to also send them. So it's not. I'm assuming it's not going to be instant, but you guys will get them. Don't worry.
Etsy sends them to Dieter. Dieter sends them to you guys, I think, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think Etsy might be sending them directly. That's a question for Dieter, not me. But yeah, you guys will get them. Just be patient, but you'll get them. Don't worry, we have you.
Yeah.
All
right.
Okay.
So they have this conversation here. Like she confesses to him that she's hearing voices, right?
Yeah. Yes, she confesses she's hearing voices. Look, the only one she really can tell it about is Elgin. Like nobody's talking to her, right? So I get she told Elgin, and I appreciate like at least she had somebody to talk to and decide what to do, you know, trying to figure out what to do. But yeah, the conversation, she asks him, she says, "Do you still see the kimono woman?" And when he says no, she says, "Do you think she leaves you alone because you did what she asked?" And because she thought the voices were done and they've come back. So the question then is, like, what she's thinking is she never actually, I mean, I'm assuming what she's maybe thinking is she never killed Ethan. But then again, she did, oh no, I was thinking the voice, never mind. Forget what I was going to say. It didn't make sense. She never killed Ethan was what I was going to say.
No,
so maybe that's why she thinks it's happening. Like I kind of get that little bit of logic, right? It makes sense that she might do that.
So people have a lot of strong feelings about Sarah here. I'm going to actually, maybe we'll wait till we get to the diner and think about what Sarah does and how she acts. But, you know, Kay Catastrophe points out every time she hears the voices, she always says they, never singular. That's true. She never says he. She never says she, it. She always says they, the voices.
Yeah,
that's kind of interesting, right?
Yeah, I had not thought about that. That is definitely true. She does say they, which yeah. So I assume then it sounds more like, you know, multiple voices, I guess, right?
Yeah. Michelle had a number of great comments. Sarah seemed to get it and was even explaining to Elgin that they cannot listen to these voices. She flipped back too soon, in my opinion. I mean, she does cave pretty quickly, right? I get that. I was hoping Sarah was going to stand up to it also and see what happened and see, right? I was surprised that she like lasted about 120 seconds.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. I'm just typing into the Discord to remind people about the giveaway. So anybody who hasn't can do that. You know, I can't type and talk.
But it's nice to see these two talking to each other, right? They both, you know, they've both been used by the town. They both have done things they regret because the town convinced them. And they, you know, I've said it before. This is why I think they may be the first. One of them will be the first to catch on to Sophia because they maybe have more of a, I don't know. They're more exposed to the things that the town can do, and I don't know, maybe one of the. I mean, it does seem now Sarah could really be the first to figure it out because now they're also roommates. But we'll see. But I like these two. I mean, on the one hand, she removed his eye with a screwdriver. Is it realistic that within like 36 hours he's like seeking her out? I don't know, but he seems to be like, okay, I did what I did, and this is the price that I pay. Because a voice didn't make her do it. She just did it. Like she felt she had to, like she made that decision. As far as we know, no voice said, "Now do me a favor, take out," you know.
For Ethan, you mean?
No, she didn't. A voice didn't tell Sarah to.
For Elgin. Sorry, I was trying to type that.
All Sarah. That's all Sarah, yes, right?
The Elgin thing was all Sarah. And just to kind of comment on what you were saying, that yeah, she did kind of flip But to be fair, I feel like she doesn't want to do what the voice is saying. Elgin and even before Sarah were like, I have to do this to get us out of here. Now she's more like, I don't know what to do because they're threatening people. I feel like this is a little bit different. She doesn't necessarily think the voices are a good thing right now. She's scared that something's going to happen and she's looking for advice. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like that's a little bit different. So to me, it didn't really feel like flipping in that sense. Yeah, because she's worried about them. I feel like Elgin is going to defend Sarah or help her from the voices. And I do think Sophia is trying to make Sarah a scapegoat to create more division in the town. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so basically, the voices are coming back and she says that they want her to pour a glass of water, drink out of the water and pour it back in. So, yes, Petty, Elgin they both had a choice, but I think it makes them override their maybe sense of what they're supposed to do, should do.
He had a choice, but the ask was a lesser ask with lesser consequences, right? Like
it was definitely lesser ask.
Lock her in a room so she can have the baby is really different than like kill your brother and kill that little kid.
Well, they never said kill your brother. The brother being killed.
Right. Brother being killed was not, but like kill a little kid, which she didn't do. You know,
she did.
Open the door and let monsters in, kind of things that the town does are a different level than what Elgin was asked to do what he did, right?
Yes. Yeah. I want to bring up. I think we're.
Yeah, I think
this is kind of, we're not quite to that yet, but I just want to bring up like I was saying.
I was holding that until we do see her fold the House of Cards. But that's okay.
All right. No, I'm just saying, that's why I'm saying I think that she does it. I think it's more about like she's worried about somebody else and not. It's like, is the consequences of not doing it worse than the consequences of doing it?
Well, and in the scene, in this scene, so, Jamie, you're right. Michelle, you're right. Elgin says to her, what's the harm? And like, shouldn't he know better? Like, he thought they made a pretty, like, I just defended him that they made him a pretty less consequential ask, or so he thought, and yet look at the price he's paid. But now he's saying to Sarah, oh, it doesn't sound so bad. Well, what he thought they asked him to do wasn't so bad, right?
Yeah, but
it's interesting. He talks Sarah says there's always a consequence, and he talks Sarah into it pretty quickly, right?
Well, Sarah made the choice not to do it at the beginning until what happened with Sophia. But yeah, her idea is, what if me hearing voices is like an infection and I can pass it on, and that's what she's worried could be the consequence. So yeah, like I said, it's more like the consequence of not doing it. Does it outweigh the consequence of doing it?
I guess I can see why she's afraid. It's a flawed argument, maybe because like other people hear the voices and they don't drink out of her glassware, right? Elgin.
Yeah,
right?
But to be fair, none of them talk about hearing the voices. The only one she knows has heard the voices is Elgin.
Yeah. Okay.
Fair. So they don't have a lot. Fletcher said Elgin was manipulated. I don't blame Elgin, and he possibly did help Fatima. Fatima needed Kimono Woman for the birth. I wonder what would have happened without her helping.
He was manipulated how? Because they said if you do this, you can all go home. Didn't they tell Sarah if you kill Ethan, you can all go home?
Yeah, I don't think that's any different. And I don't necessarily. I don't know that I necessarily at this point blame either of them. It's hard to say, do you blame them? But I do agree that what Elgin did was not as bad as what Sarah was willing to do originally. But neither was okay. Neither was necessarily a good moral choice. Let's put it that way.
Okay, but there's a question. I don't want to belabor this right now because our show is not really about this. This is more of a review show. But if they had asked Elgin to kill someone so that they could go home, would he have done it? Like you say, what Sarah was willing to do. We don't really know what Elgin's willing to do because they didn't ask him to do something like that.
True. Very true. Very true. All right, guys. I was going to say, we will, let's say we'll do the giveaway in like 5 minutes in case, because I know it
Okay,
seems like
last
more.
call. Last call
everybody,
to enter the drawing.
Yes, enter hashtag screwdriver in lowercase letters into the chat if you haven't, to get an entry into the giveaway for the Avery cameo. And if you did it like at the very beginning of the show, do it again to make sure it picked it up, since it wasn't working at the very beginning. But I do think it by now got everybody. But yeah, make sure you guys enter, and then we'll do that in a few minutes. We'll pull it.
So Michelle and oh, come on, the comments are so fast. Michelle and 2 people are saying yes, Elgin totally would kill somebody if the monsters asked him, if the voices asked him to. So we do have some people who believe he would do it. It's Michelle and Petty Gibbs. Both are like, yes, he would do it.
He probably would. He probably would. There we go. All right.
I mean, look, like, probably that's what happened to Abby, right? Like, did Abby go crazy, or did the town did the voices make Abby think?
Yeah.
None of this is real.
I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. Like, Abby never said they told me to do this. I think it's what Abby really believed would help people, though. I don't think she just like randomly decided to kill people for no reason.
Elgin never said somebody told me to do it. Elgin never said anything until he got caught, right?
All right. Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. We really don't know the answer to that.
He never went and said Fatima. Well, maybe he kind of did. He did say to Fatima, he did try to say to Fatima, look, you won't be hurt, you'll be fine, and then we can all go home, right?
Yeah.
He just didn't say like
it's so hard to tell. Right. I feel like it's hard to tell with this show because I want to say no, it wasn't voices because we would have known that and they would have put that in there, but not with this show, not necessarily. I assume it wasn't just voices, but I mean, I don't know. It's really hard to tell for sure.
That mofo was willing to let his eye get gouged out. He goes hard in the paint. Yeah, I mean, okay, I'm not going to try to blame the victim, but when Sarah's like, okay, I got to do this. He wasn't like, no way. Okay, never mind. She's in the root cellar. I put her in the root cellar, right? Like he kept that secret.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Hold on one second.
Do this and you get out. Wouldn't you do that? I mean, maybe if something tells you murder a small child and you'll get out. I don't know if I would do that, right? But
yeah,
Sarah's been there longer. Sarah's been there longer. Sarah's heard the voice for longer. She's like, if it said lock someone in the root cellar, yeah. If it said kill a kid that you just met the other day, like, I don't know if I would do that.
Yeah, I would say no to that. And if it said drink water and pour it back, I would say unless you know you have forethought to know bad things have happened, you would probably say, oh yeah, why not? But knowing what she knows is the issue.
Yeah.
Yes. So what will Sarah do? All right. Since we're at the end of the Sarah scene, why don't we do the giveaway and pull a me here? Let me fix.
I'm going to try to organize some of this chit chat a little bit while you do that.
Okay. I'm going to put up I don't remember which one it is. Giveaway tool. Hold on. Giveaway tool. There it is. Okay. Sorry.
So there's 19 people? There are 19 people?
21 now, it says.
Right.
Have hired. Sorry, that is like really not in the right place, is it? There we go. Amy be picky. Amy's always picky with her pictures. There we go. I will fix it so you guys. That way you guys don't see my tabs either. There you go. Not that I have anything on there other than what we're doing, but there we go. Okay. All right, you guys. Last chance. Wait a second. All right. I think everybody in there has hopefully under. I mean, you shouldn't even have to be on YouTube, but yeah, I don't know. All right, you guys, you ready? We'll do a draw here, and it will randomly pick somebody who's going to win the cameo with Avery. who plays Sarah, which was given to us by Kimberly. So thank you so much for that, Kimberly. And let's there we go. Do 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 do. Oh snap! Yay! Okay, there you go. Yes, congratulations, Oh Snap. You have won. I'm not sure what we need from you other than your email, probably. I'll get that information from Kimberly, and then make sure that if you're not a member of our Discord, the link's in the chat, make sure you join it so you can DM me whatever. I mean, I'll DM you and you can DM me back whatever it is I need, but I'm guessing probably your email since it is virtual and or digital, not virtual, digital. But yes, congratulations. Yes. Yes. And thank you, everybody, for entering. If you didn't win,
it's not like Oh Snap is on right now. I hope they will come back.
Yeah, we'll come back. I think as long as you entered, it should be. I don't think we should say
Snap had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. I know they were here before for quite a while, and I kind of
he left the chat after someone asked him to not talk trailer. Maybe he'll come back.
Okay. Well, I don't know. And unless Kimberly wants to do it again, I think that's fine. I don't think it's really fair to say, oh, you can't do it now because you left.
No, we never said must be present to win, but that was not a rule.
Well, I did, but I more meant must be present to answer. I did, or to enter. I think I said. I don't know how I said it, but that was what I meant, was you had to be here to enter. So, okay.
Well, they were here to enter. They entered.
Yes. So we will let them win. Okay. So wait, I got to hide that now. Where'd my thing go? Hold on 1 second. All right. There we go. There's Sarah. Okay. And if you didn't win, they may not be more cameos, but we will have more things coming out to give to people. Yeah, I don't know. See, some people are like respin. I'll leave it up to Kimberly. How's that? Since Kimberly donated, I'll leave it up to Kimberly. If you think we should redo it because they left, we will. I personally think it's kind of mean to like be like, no, because you left. But
that was never a stated rule. That's not a rule. We didn't make that.
No, I think I did put in there you had to be present to win. I might have said. So I don't want to say I didn't say that because I think I did, but I meant you had to be present to enter, regardless of what I said. But yeah, we will have more giveaways another time. So, no, well, why did you guys chase them out? I didn't think you did. I mean, I don't think that I think they just didn't think we want to talk about it. Didn't mean to leave. Hopefully they'll come back. But we'll see.
Well, if you didn't get a response, then
no, I didn't. You're right, Karen. I didn't say that, and I didn't mean that I sent that in the live. I mean that I had it in the description of the YouTube was what I had said. Yeah. But since it was kind of unclear, and I said different, two different things, we'll wait and we'll try to give it to them. If they don't come back, then that'll be different. Then we'll have to redo it. But we'll give it to them. But yeah, I think we're going to be having some more giveaways maybe next week. So we'll have to wait.
All right, well, let's get on with our chat then, and with our talk, and we can circle back to that.
Yes.
So Sarah here, man, they gotta get that bloody eye. I hope his eye heals soon and he can get a patch. But I guess it's only been like a day and a half since this injury. So
yeah, it hasn't been that long. Good point.
Yep.
Okay,
so back to measuring trees.
Yes. So yeah, measuring trees, and this is where he's trying to get him to tell him about the guy in the yellow suit, and he said, "Did he hurt you?" And I think that also is an interesting thing. Like, it makes sense that could be what he thinks happened, right?
Wait, what could be what he thinks happened?
No, that he says, did he hurt you? Like, he's saying, are you scared of this guy because he did something to you? I'm just saying, like, that could make sense. Especially, it makes total sense. But that's not what happened. Yeah. Well, we're glad you're here with us, Scarlett. That's all I can say is I'm glad you're here with us. Okay. So Henry has been great the past 2 episodes helping out Victor remembering important stuff. Yes, he has been. Okay, so he's going to take him somewhere. He says, come with me. And that's about what we get right now. Yeah. All right. Now, whoops, wrong thing. Okay, so Boyd goes upstairs with Kenny to check out what Fandom is doing, and he's like, "Stay here, Jade." Which, you know, I'm kind of surprised Jade stayed there, but Jade's not quite high yet, I guess, so it worked out. So Boyd comes in, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "I'm making a monster." I'm not sure that really explained anything to him clearly, but yeah, she's making a monster, and that is what she does. And then we go back to Julie and Randall, and they're looking at the adventures of the Grand Gulagog. And this is where we get the actual information about what she's doing, where she says that the Gulagog asked Fred about story walking, and he said that you could choose a point you wanted to see. You have to create a bookmark. And by leaving one, you can drop a bookmark, and you can come back to the same place that you visited before. And he, of course, still thinks it's just a kid's book. But this is where she says what I think is an interesting theory. I mean, it's what Julie said, so I don't know if I consider it a theory, but I like what she says, is that she says that what if, I lost where I was, that everything that's impossible in the town is also real. So what if everything existed in the town first? So like, what if the crazy shit, like the things I can do, what if that existed here and that somehow seeped out into the real world, and then somebody wrote about it? Because she says, "Hey, look, my mom dreamed about red rocks that existed only in this town, and it was, you know, actually here. And she dreamt about it. So like, what if somebody else did that and then they wrote a book on it?" Why is my phone listening to me?
I mean, I get that. I get that. I mean, that's different because did she dream about it? She's reincarnated. She remembered it, right? From a past life is really what happened with Tabitha, right? That dream was a memory of her previous time there. But Julie doesn't know that. Julie can't possibly be having that, right? So Julie's theory here, which I kind of don't get, but she's saying that stuff from the town is seeping out into the real world.
Yeah.
Right? That's what she's
saying. She's saying that people are dreaming about it and writing about it, and that's how it happened. I like that. I think it's kind of cool. It's a different thing we haven't heard before.
She's saying stuff from people's stories seeped in here and became whatever this place is.
No. She's looking at it the opposite way. She's saying, what if like the crazy things that happened here somehow seeped into the outside world, and that people like had a crazy dream that somebody could story walk, and then they wrote a book about it. And that's how it came here. So yeah, actually the opposite of what you're saying.
You're saying stuff in this town is seeping out into the real world, and people are having that dream and writing a book about it, and that's how these books came to be.
Just like how her mother had this random dream about rocks in this place.
Yeah, except that's
kind of like the opposite.
Yeah. She believes it's a random dream. She believes it's this random dream, but it's kind of not.
Yeah, and that's only because at this point Julie does not know why her mother dreamt that. She hasn't been told that.
Right.
Yeah. And he's still like, "Oh, it's just a book." I do think these books are critical to the answers of Frumville. So what Julie says is a good question. I think it's about. I don't know. I just think it's different. I like it because we haven't heard it before, and I think it's kind of cool. And I think it would be an interesting idea.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? And you know what? The other reason I think why I think it's cool probably too is because it isn't like a theory I've heard like in real life people saying. Like so many things they come up with are things we've come up with, and this is just something like kind of unique I hadn't heard of.
Yeah. So, what's the next shot you got?
So Randall doesn't believe her, and he's like, "Why this book?" Right? He's like, "Why this book?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, because it happened to be the one he brought, so maybe that means it's like fate that it was here, and that this is the one that gives us instructions."
Yeah.
So
I mean, this is close to theories that people have had that like, oh, it's a book that Ethan wrote, and this is all happening like in the pages of a book that he wrote, is a theory that's been out there, right? Like this is getting close to these theories about books and stories and telling what's happening here and whatever, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true. I didn't think about it that way. Yeah, you're right. It is kind of like that. I hadn't thought about it in that way. I guess I've never heard it phrased this way, is what I should have said. So
You know, what if Ethan is the storyteller and Victor is the illustrator, right? That's a good that's coming from Fletcher's comment that Victor made a drawing of the RV crash. What if Storywalker uses that? There's a conversation going on in the chat about the drawings, which also tell a story. And could she use these drawings?
Yes, we had a conversation quite at length about that somebody had, excuse me, and I know I never remember who said what, I'm sorry, but somebody had come up with the idea of like, what if the drawings could be the bookmark and take you to that time, which I think is really interesting. And I also think it's interesting that like when Julie's having the conversation, she says like about it'll take you where you need, where you want to go or whatever, and doesn't actually say when, which also makes me question maybe she's not doing everything. But she is reading what it says in the book. She's trying to figure it out. And either way, Ethan may not believe her, Randall may not believe her, but Randall is helping her. Right? No matter what it is, Randall's helping her.
Yeah, I mean, I think he still thinks I think he's still in a little bit of a protector mode. He's not like, all right, I'm willing to give it a shot. He's like, yes, okay, if you think so, I'll try it. But there's a part of him that's in a protector role here, right? He's not like, just let me help you with your harebrained scheme because we're pals. He's looking out for her a little bit, or he thinks he is. So back to Golem, back to the sculptural, her sculpting studio.
Yeah.
Where right now she's making a big ball of clay.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta get up and stand up. I gotta try to remind myself to stand up and walk around sometimes because my back and leg have been killing me because I sat too long last night. So hold on, I'm still here. I'm just gonna be moving around.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can hear me. So this is where she says, you don't have to worry about me, and I wasn't hiding what I was doing from Ellis, which again, was she? I don't know. But I do like that she's like, I figured when he came back from the food run, he could just see it and then he'd understand. And she's like, yeah, he's kind of like, yeah, well, I don't understand it either. So tell me what you're doing. And this is where the boy in white is needed. You are asking the wrong question, Boyd. You need to ask, is it safe to be building a golem on the third floor? Yes, or are we going to have something break through? This is a really stupid comparison, but I'm just going to tell you anyway, because I think it's funny and it happened today, which is why I think it's funny. You've been in my house. Okay. You know how big our kitchen is. It's not like super huge, but long ways, how long it is. Earlier today, getting ready to go down the stairs, my mom dropped a bottle of water. And I don't know if it's just because now they make them thinner, like the bottles, because they're cheap. I don't know. But she dropped it and it like exploded open and it went clear long ways all the way to the wall on the other side of the room. And I found the bottle cap. I found the bottle cap in front of our bathroom. That's how far that thing went. Water could go far, man. So I definitely think this is gonna break through the floor. But it made me think about this when it happened, just because we were talking about it. Ugh,
yeah.
Quit sitting in one spot. Ugh. Okay. Hopefully that helps. I don't know. My leg's like falling asleep. Right. Okay. So she says, sorry, what?
So this is where we recounted her conversation earlier about like building. This is where she explains why she's building it, right? What she's doing and why.
Yeah. She says, when I grew up, beliefs were rigid and defined, and her father would tell stories of all the different faiths, and it would drive her mother crazy because she understood how dangerous it was. And we know that's part of why he got shot, right? Well, not part of, that is why. And he said that he lost where it was. He would say, Fatima, they have it all wrong. They all think their road is the only way. Don't they understand all roads lead to the divine? They simply take different paths to get here. And that all the fables and myths, he told her, this is a story she's been thinking about. And then she asked if she knows what the golem is. So what a golem is. So what do you think about this that she said?
Well, I mean, she goes on to say that making the like, are you including the part where she says like I can still feel it as a part of me, and it feels what I fear, and I feel what it feels, and all that, like, or you mean just referring to like the story tradition of the golem that she explained here? I'm not like, what are you asking me, really?
I'm thinking, I'm meaning when she says all roads lead to the divine, it just, what did I say?
Oh, all
They
roads to the
simply
divine. They
pass
just
to
take a
get,
different way to get there.
yeah. Yeah, what do you think about that?
I mean, it could mean that like Ethan and Jade and Julie are all on the right track, and they're just going about it different ways, right?
Yeah.
You know,
I know, I was just
I mean, the
curious.
divine is very, the divine is like a real reference to like a higher power that you believe in, whether that's God or whatever kind, like the divine, right? I mean, that's.
I guess what I'm saying is I think it could mean two different things. The one thing that it worries me, and I know they said they wouldn't, and I've said this yesterday. To me, I was worried it kind of makes it, to me, made it sound like it's saying the town could be purgatory, but they've said it isn't, so we'll say it isn't, and I believe that. So if that doesn't mean that, I also think it's interesting because the concept of from, and we know how it's called origins in some countries, is that everybody came to this town from a different place. They all got their different ways, different roads, different trees. So I don't know. Just to me, that line seems super important. I just wondered if it made you think anything. Maybe it didn't make you think anything. I don't know. To me, it seemed super important. That's all.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure that it also couldn't be a red herring. Like having Sophia appear as the gospel spouting fake daughter of a priest, of a pastor, is not necessarily mean that there's a heaven and hell and God and kind of like Christian tradition thing going on here, right?
Right.
Yeah,
it just definitely, I don't know. To me, you know how sometimes when you hear like a certain thing, it just, you think like that's important. And I don't know, to me, it just seemed like that was something they wanted.
I'm gonna say, here's what I say. I agree with you, it's important, but I don't know what it means.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. We joke about the floor, but Fletch says, could the Fandom creation lead to wrecking the colony house? The floor ain't holding up. I mean, that could actually happen. Like I'm not, that's not we joke about it, but it could happen. Mackie, I want the golem to be done for next episode. Also needed to fight the girl in yellow. I agree with you. I don't want to watch 4 episodes of her like playing with mud upstairs, right? Like, let's let this go somewhere.
I don't either. But as I was joking last night, I totally need to like use Nano to make like a verses of like all the creatures and stuff fighting this golem, because it would just be hilarious and I want to see it.
Yeah.
But whether or not it'll happen, I don't know. But
yeah. And how the hell is she going to get it outside? I guess she's going to bring it to life and it can walk down the stairs.
Maybe. That's why I don't know if she even intends it, or it's more just, this makes me feel strong, right? And if that's the case, then why did you do it? Because it is just kind of stuck there, and what are you going to do now, right? So yeah, I don't know. It's weird, but it's interesting. It's interesting if it goes somewhere, to me. And yes, like trauma wise, I think it's interesting no matter what. I just question what, like, is there more to it? I feel like there has to be more to it, or I'm going to be like, what, why? What if Tilly's corpse is inside the mud? Yeah. And we want to see something with Tilly. We need to know, right? And wait, there's something, I think it was Dieter said, wait, let me find it. It was something that was, oh shit. Now I'm not going to be able to find it. Yeah. Oh, I like that. Do you guys think Smiley gave her something good for Mother's Day? I just thought that was funny. Maybe. Hopefully didn't give her anything. Let's say, right? We hope not. Okay. So anyway, Boyd is like, okay, he's taking it for what it is, because she, Fatima talking about all roads of the divine made me cringe. It felt like something Manny Yo would say. Oh, yeah, kind of.
It's not a particularly great piece of writing, of dialogue, right? Like, but I guess she's recounting what her father told her, so it's not like her original statement, right?
Right,
but yeah, it's a little cringe. It is.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I don't know. I just think to me it seemed like maybe that's why it seemed like it stood out then. Maybe because it seems like something she wouldn't say. I don't know. It just to me really stood out. But I also, like I said, I also thought about how all the roads of the wherever lead to the town too. So anyway, he tells Kenny, wait, I was thinking that maybe the golem won't come to life, but somehow when it collapses the floor, it helps save someone from a monster for some fee. That's kind of interesting. I hadn't thought of that.
Oh, so it could be a net positive, be a good thing that she did, but just not in the way that she was planning. I like it.
Yeah, I do too. Although I also get Fletcher's point, you're creating a monster inside a nightmarish town that manifests everything. Like, stop.
Yeah.
Is this a good thing? We don't know. I guess we'll have to find out if it's a good thing, right?
Imagine being so irrelevant you have to mud build a golem. Dang, Fatima Ellis useless.
Oh, we need storylines for these people, guys. All right. So he goes out and he tells Kenny. This is where he tells Kenny what's going on and explains what it is. A giant made of clay that protects people. And he tells Kenny to give her some space. And this is where he says, oh, she's not hurting anyone. And Kenny says they've both seen the place change people little by little until you turn around and the person you knew is gone. And that isn't the Fatima they know. And this is obviously to me is referencing Boyd's wife. But I know this is what Fletcher was talking about. Like, is this foreshadowing a physical change with Fatima? I don't know, but that's where he was going before that we were talking about. There's tons of hints about Fatima's turning. She doesn't change, does she? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think it could be. I think it couldn't be. I don't know whether it is or not, but yeah, I don't know. The only thing I think, though, is you say that, and I think I really don't want it to be that people are going to start turning into other things. You know what I mean? Like, it could just be weird. So I don't know.
I mean, I don't know, Kenny. I think what you're onto, like, Kenny's not afraid that she'll turn into a monster. He's afraid she might do something like Abby. You suggest something like Abby did, or I don't know what Sarah did, or a lot of people have like I get it. I don't know that he means literally changing into a thing, although she's the only one so far that actually had Smiley growing inside them, right? Like, she actually grew a monster inside her and could be affected in a very different way than anybody else in this town.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, that's gotta fuck you up, right? No, you're here. That's gotta fuck you up either way. So that's all I gotta say is that's gotta mess with you no matter what. Okay. Yeah. So now we have Donna and Tabitha. And Tabitha, okay, wait. Mackie says it's not really like a monster. In some mythologies, they're protectors. Like Boyd said, they needed a champion. You are right about that, Mackie. In reference to just going in reference to like what Kenny said, a golem is supposed to be a good thing, not a monster. Yes. Monster. He's calling it a monster, and I think they did that so you didn't know what was happening. But yeah, that's what.
But yeah, Fatima's words were, "I'm making a monster."
She was, and I think they did that like right before they went to the next scene. So you're like, what? You know, and then they're like, no, that's not what we mean. So,
yeah.
Okay, so Donna and Tabitha.
Oh, and you say you're not a shipper.
No, yeah, Donatha. So Donna is talking to Tabitha, and Tabitha is saying she doesn't know. And yes, Caddish is X-Files, Caddish. Yes, that's what I was talking about earlier. About that episode. It is a good episode. It's interesting. So yeah, if you want to know more about the Golem, watch that X-Files episode.
Well, and so, if anybody, I'm sorry, Jamie, if anybody has watched the Supernatural episodes about the Golem, there's a lot, which I assume, I'm not Jewish and I'm not familiar with the folklore. Look, I don't know if most Jewish people would be, but I'm not fully read up on Golem folklore. But in Supernatural, they explain a lot about how it is bound to the person that it protects. And so in Supernatural, the Nazis are like trying to change who the golem is like loyal to. And like, anyway, it delves into different ways the golem could be used. And so like Fatima could make it, and then like somebody else could get control of it. If I'm just saying that's what happened on another show that, right? Like it doesn't. I don't think that the folklore of the golem is that it is loyal to this one person always. That it can be, its allegiance can be changed by certain rituals.
Yeah, that's true. So
yeah,
that I hadn't really thought about that, but you're totally right with what you're saying. It could become a bad thing. Okay.
All right. In the next week, I'm going to read up on golem folklore, not folklore, lore. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what do you think about? Go ahead. Well, I was going to ask you what you think of the Donatha conversation here.
Yeah. I like that they're having new people do conversations together. I think that's a cool way to, like, I like that they're teaming different people up, you know. Sorry, what I was going to interrupt and I was going to say, I think is a good idea. What Kimberly suggested, and since Kimberly is the one donating it, we will defer to Kimberly. I think what we should do is, if OSNAP is listening and comes back before the end of the show into the chat, that we'll give them the prize, and if not, we'll respin, since they were supposed to technically be in the chat. That's what we could do. That's kind of like a compromise, I guess, of what. Yeah. So hopefully they'll come back, because she's right. We have no way of contacting them. They're not a member of Discord. So unless they happen to come back and rewatch the video, we're not even going to know. So I guess that is the final answer. So if you guys are still here, you're waiting around. If you entered, we'll spin again and see who's here. Unless somebody knows how to contact them, because I don't. I thought they were a member of Discord, and they are not, unfortunately. So yeah.
All right. Thank you, Jamie.
Yeah.
So I have some issues with, in this conversation, Tabitha expresses like a lot to Donna, right? And you're saying you like that they're having people have conversations. I think this is when Donna says, "Don't ever leave me a note like that again. Don't make me like have to explain to your kids why you're gone."
Yes. Yeah, that's what she says. Because Tabitha's talking about not knowing what to do with her kids. And she's like, what happens when Ethan finds out the Lake of Tears isn't real? She thinks it's not real. And she feels like she's being a bad parent here. And this is when she says, you're not alone. But yeah, she says, I don't ever want to find another letter like that. But here's I think the biggest part of the conversation we need to at least address, because this is what everybody was talking about earlier. Donna says to her, don't ever put me in a position to explain to your kids why I'm alive and you're not. Their mother isn't. And she says she's her family. And then she says, from now on, if anybody's going to risk their lives to do something stupid, it's going to be me. Now, what do you think about that? Because everybody thinks, not everybody, a lot of people think, I should say, that this is foreshadowing something is going to happen to Donna. And it does kind of sound like it could be. I don't know. But what do you think about it?
I mean, I didn't really think about that too much. I mean, that's a kind of thing that you would say to anybody in this town who's going off on one of their harebrained schemes, right? I was actually caught up in the part where Donna says, you and your kids are as close to family as any I've ever had. She doesn't even say like you're my family in this town. She says you're the closest thing to family I've ever had.
Yeah, it's my real family or something to that effect.
I guess forgetting the part about her dead sister, but
well, I think she's saying not what her sister ever was or anything like that.
Well, what she's saying is you are my family. And I just remember I was like, justice for Tabitha, because last week and 2 weeks ago, everybody is saying, oh, Tabitha, you're always leaving your kids with these people you don't even know. You've known them for 30 days. Like, and you leave your kids with them. And then here's the person who leaves their kid with saying, I'm like, oh wait, everybody just made me remember you've only known them 30 days and you're the closest thing to family, and I've only seen you have like 4 conversations ever. And I felt like we're family was being a little bit shoved down my throat. And yet I also, conversely, the other side of that coin, I felt like everyone, this is why Tabitha leaves her kid with these people, because they're all like a family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
well, all that in my head maybe is what made me not think about this foreshadowing. I do notice now that they're wearing the same color.
Karen's getting into color theory. You're usually yelling at us when we do that, but you're right.
They are kind really of. It's
I'm
interesting
joking, Karen. I'm joking. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, Donna would be a big death, right? And we haven't had a big death in a long time. And it would really, to lose Donna would really squeeze Boyd. It would really be hard on Boyd, and Boyd would lose his partner and the one person he trusts the most in the whole town. But we don't do that so much on this show, this kind of speculation, right? We try not to.
I mean, I just don't, I know I've seen here, I knew there was somebody said it, Gabby said it's been foreshadowed. I may honestly lose interest if they get rid of her. Yeah, look, Donna is, I've said before, I think Donna and Jade are probably my favorite characters. I do not want anything to happen to her, but I can't help thinking it does kind of sound like that. I sure as hell hope it's not. And yes, you're still in the chat, Scarlett. I don't know why you're asking if you're still in the chat. You're still in the chat. Yeah, I don't know, but a lot of people have said that, and I think it's kind of almost unanimous that a lot of people would be pissed off if they got rid of her. But I do agree with what you said. We have not had, I feel like we haven't had a big death in a while.
Well, Jim was a big death only like 4 episodes ago.
You're right. But when you say that, I look at Jim as Jim was a death last season because we already knew about it, right? Like it wasn't a new revelation this season. So that's why I'm saying I feel like that's not recent. I hope not. But yes, you're right, Muncher. It was Jim. I'm not disagreeing with that. I look at it as like it was last season. But yeah, I don't know. But I love Donna, so nothing better happen. That's all I gotta say. She will sacrifice herself to save Tabby. Who knows? But
I mean, this is what I feel. If something happens to Donna, it will break Boyd. If this town wants to break Boyd, killing Donna would be a big step in that direction, right?
Okay, how about just take Ellis instead? I think most of us are thinking that. No offense. Look, I love Cordian and everything, but
fans saying you can have Ellis.
Yeah, no, I love Cordian, but his character hasn't had a lot to do for a while. So yeah, that's kind of the thing. All right. So anyway, that's their conversation. And I do like, though, at least she's like yells at her, like, what are you doing? Like, no, you do not do that again. And I know we maybe disagree about what she did, what we think of what she did last episode, but Donna doesn't like it. She says, don't do it again. So everybody listen to Donna. All right. As I said, I say a lot. I think that Donna would be a better leader than Boyd at this point. So I mean, look, Kenny is going to be a good replacement if something happens to Boyd too, but I feel like Kenny isn't quite maybe ready, where I think Donna is like already leader material, in my own opinion. But
Donna is I feel they're co-leaders. Donna and Boyd are like, she leads Colony House, he leads the town. They're like the 2 mayors in the same county.
They are. Yeah, I agree with you. That is a good point. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know that Kenny would be ready for that either way.
Oh my God! If Kenny gets control of Colony House, it'll just be like people smoking pot and having an orgy all day, every day.
I don't think he would tell them to. I think he just wouldn't be good at stopping them from doing it, right?
They'll open the windows. They'll
listen. So yeah. Anyone on your bird theory? I'm sorry, Lee. You might have to repeat it. It probably got lost in the chat. It's been going pretty fast.
We'll hit it and talk about it when we see the bird, which is this moment right now.
Wait. This might be what he meant. He said maybe an extra will be hurt or killed as long as that dang bird is gone. Is that what you're talking about, your bird theory? I don't know if that's what you meant or not. If it's not, you'll have to tell me. But yeah, I don't know. We kind of talked yesterday about, does the bird represent somebody? I know some people had said maybe it's Jim. I mean, we heard kind of some different things. But look, there is, crows are important in this story. Ethan does point out we've only seen crows so far. Where there is, the Chromonacle book is about birds. It does look like a starling. Dieter had sent some pictures yesterday, but I don't know what that necessarily means. But it does look a lot like a starling, except for the fact that it has a blue beak. The beak looks a little off, but I think it may be either A, because it's not real, or it's CGI, or that it's black and it's just kind of the color it looks in the picture.
I thought it looked like a totally fake weirdo bird that shouldn't be there, but
yeah, I think it might just be because of the way they made it. I think the bird made the water upset. The bird may be something other than good. Ooh, that's interesting though. It's the starling in blue. And the starling is a trickster.
Yeah, there are theories that Jim maybe is the bird. But was that really Jim or some entity tricking Ethan so they could go to the village and set free what's underwater? I mean, I think Ethan could easily be tricked right now. And I'm kind of surprised the town hasn't tried to trick him yet. Or the town, it was to get them to go to this. I mean, look, they were going to this lake with or without the bird, right? So I don't think the bird was a trick to get them to go to the water. They were going there anyway. Right?
That's a good point. I did not think of, Karen. You're right. They were already going anyway. I do want to bring up though, Lee, and I think had mentioned this last night, which is true, that Sophia broke her arm and the bird had a broken wing. We did talk about that too, which I don't know, could be relevant, could be not, but you're 100% right. They were already headed to that lake. I feel almost like the bird was just a way to tell us whether it's the Lake of Tears or not. Because Ethan says, we have to bring the bird with us because it's got a broken wing. And if the lake heals it, then we know it's the Lake of Tears. If it doesn't, it's not the Lake of Tears. So I feel like that was maybe just like a plot point just to explain that. If that makes sense, what I'm saying.
The bird, they've never seen a crow. They've only ever seen crows. They've never seen a bird besides a crow, right? And now they see this other kind of bird. Maze thinks the bird is another representation that the from walls are thinning. Everything is changing. The good side is progressing. Yeah, I mean, this bird could be like sent by whatever positive entity is around. Boy in White, whatever team the Boy in White is on, kind of thing, right?
I don't know. Just personally, now that I think about it, my own opinion, especially because you brought up the point they were going there anyway, I think the bird is just a representation of telling us whether it's Lake of Tears or not, because they're using that as the test, right? I mean, that's what he says.
And I do agree. I think it's something else. That being the Lake of Tears would be too easy and too fast to find the Lake of Tears within 5 minutes of like we're looking for it, right? Like the first place you look is the Lake of Tears. That seems too easy. Right?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah. Too fast. It's season 4. I don't mean too fast in the story. I mean too fast since since Ethan decided to find it. Like Ethan just decided, I mean, Jim told him yesterday in From Time. Is it yesterday? 2 days ago that he saw Jim, and Jim told him to do this. So I mean, it's too fast in that it's just they haven't been looking too much yet. We've been waiting a long time. Ethan's been waiting a day.
Yeah.
So anyway, they agree. Tabitha seems to be not sold that they need to take this bird with them, which is like, whatever. Okay, bring it, Ethan. This is your party, Ethan. So let's do what you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Either way, I think, like I said, I think it's going to tell us whether it's the Lake of Tears or not, because like if it gets healed, we'll find out, right? There you go. We'll find out. Hi, Lori. Wait, Lori says, and hey, everybody, make sure you check out Real Cinema Therapy too, Lori's show. And Doc Kaiju, I feel so bad because every time Doc comes in here, I always I'm like, hey, Doc, because I like Doc. And I forget to say you guys should go to his channel too. And you should go to Lori's. And I'm sorry. I am so bad at that. I think since the bird is a starling and they are an invasive species that are considered pests, I don't think it's good. It's tricking Ethan. That's okay. This is all, we are, then I guess everybody's kind of does think it's a starling then. I do think it looks like a starling other than the beak. And I tend to think the beak is just, they didn't make a perfect bird, right? Because it's not real.
I thought it looked pretty fake. Yeah.
I think part of it might be real maybe, but for the most part, yeah, I don't think it is. And it was probably cheaper to do that than to really train a bird and everything else. And, all the stuff that goes
I think
with
you can
that.
make a fake bird that looks better, but whatever.
Yeah.
So, all right. So they agree. As B says, Tabby is letting Ethan take the lead with this. And so they take the bird and they go.
Yep. They are headed to the Lake of Tears.
Yep. So
okay.
They get to the sleep.
We'll find out. I guess we don't find out till next week, right? And I didn't mean anything, but I'm just like, they're headed to that's what Ethan thinks, right? Ethan thinks they're going to the Lake of Tears. We shall find out.
Well, I mean, he thinks he thinks it could be the Lake of Tears, right? Like he wants to, he thinks the bird is the way, he thinks the bird is the way to verify if it's the Lake of Tears.
Yeah. And I agree with whoever said that a little bit ago in the chat. I think that it's too early. Like if he finds it already, right? Like the Lake of Tears is something from season 1. Are we really going to solve that quick? I when they just bring it back up, I kind of doubt it. But we'll see. Who knows? Okay. So Sophia is standing there at the edge of the pool, staring down into it. And Christy and Marielle have a conversation about
how weird she is.
About how Sophia's doing. They don't know. Really, kind of the only part about this that's important is the fact that they talk about her praying, and Marielle says about how she never liked in NA when they had to give everything up to a higher power. That she says something like anything that would say that God, I forget exactly what she says, but say that there isn't a higher power like this. If nothing else, this town would prove that, because of this, it's like, if it's proof no one was ever looking out for them, it's a town. If there's ever proof, I can't talk, but there we go.
What? I lost you there.
I know, I can't talk. She says the one thing about NA, Narcotics Anonymous, she couldn't stand was giving yourself up to a higher power. If there was ever proof that no one was looking out for them, if there was ever proof no one looking out for them, ever proof there wasn't a higher power. That's what I'm trying to say. That it's the town. That was what I was trying to say. And guys, let's not talk about what's in the new trailers, okay, please. Because so many people don't want to know about it. So let's just
it's not just me and AJ. We have
if you want to talk about it later, you are more than welcome to go on Discord into the spoiler channel and talk about it. But let's keep it out of the chat, because I know a lot of people just really don't want to know, and it's just we don't want people leaving chat because they don't want to find things out. So let's just wait. But you are more than welcome to later talk about it. I just try to keep most people happy and keep Karen happy so she don't get mad at me, right?
And AJ doesn't read trailers. Kimberly's giving up trailers.
Here, AJ does not get a vote. Damn it, he's not here now. I know. I know no one wants to.
So I mean, I've known people who are uncomfortable with the AA model because they don't want to give themselves. They don't believe, they're atheists or whatever. They don't believe in any higher power, or they right. Yeah. I get that. I don't really get, like, if there's ever proof there is no higher power, it's this town. I mean, she doesn't.
She says no proof, no one's looking out for them. I'm saying she meant that. I was like summarizing. I take it she's just saying like, this is hell, not literally, but just saying like, if there was ever proof that we were alone, it's here because nobody's helping us, is kind of what she's saying. I guess how I take it, but. I really not believe in that. Maybe not, but yeah, that's.
She's saying that she was a skeptic even before she came to this town, right? Like, I felt like the point of this conversation was like they're not really, or she's not really a believer, and so Sophia's like belief is something that's difficult for her to understand, agree with, get behind, and then they just go on to be like, she's kind of weird, right? Like they're talking about Sophia. does this scene indicate that maybe these two will be the people to first realize that Sophia is sus, as the kids say?
Yeah. I don't think that they're necessarily thinking she's sus, but yeah.
You don't think they think they're?
I don't think they're saying they think she is, other than they're saying she prays a lot.
I'm saying, are they going to be the ones to? Are they going to be the ones to figure it out?
Maybe. I guess they could be.
Because they're definitely like, what's up with her, right? Like, what is up with her?
Yeah.
And how do you think she's doing? And she's really weird. And meanwhile, like, so you showed in that previous shot how she's lurking by the edge of the pool, which is kind of weird, but nobody notices, right?
Yeah. Nobody else is paying attention other than that.
Maybe she's looking at the dead and decomposing body of Dale poking through the wall.
Yes. She is looking at Dale. Right. That is definitely what she's there doing. They just don't know that. But that's what she's doing.
Sophia's just in general creepy as hell. She is. And Joy says nobody suspects a thing yet. That is true. No one suspects a thing yet. I just feel like someone is going to figure her out. Someone's going to start to be like, and I thought there was some real foreshadowing of.
Yeah. I mean, look, I feel like somebody has to eventually figure out who she is, right? Because otherwise, what's the point?
I mean, I think Henry might figure out who she is also because of what Victor says later in the episode when he says he came in cars just like the rest of us. We invited him in and made him our friend. We thought he was just like us, but no, he wasn't. And he's like totally saying, like, putting like it out there, like, this is Sophia, right? I mean, he's not saying that. I'm saying I'm watching that and thinking, oh my, yeah, like he's telling Henry, like, how to identify a person who's dangerous.
Yeah, you're right. He is, but nobody's like listening to Vector. To be fair, he only tells Henry though. So
So here we are with Sarah.
Trying to think. Fletcher's asking were there theories on water back in season 1 and 2. I don't even know. Other than I think people said the Lake of Tears was important. They thought because it was in episode 1. I think more than anything was why people said that.
There might have been theories about that out there. We don't tend to not maybe didn't get into them on this particular show.
Yeah, we probably didn't.
So here we are back to Sarah.
Okay. Yeah, she probably did, Fletcher. I'm sure she probably did. Okay. So yes, Sarah is trying to decide what to do about the water. She's staring at it. She's thinking about it. She pours some water. And she's definitely I mean, look, she's thinking about it. She hasn't done it yet. She's contemplating it. And she takes the drink. She's thinking about it. And then Bacta starts talking to her and is really nice and is like, you should come work here again if you want to, that you'd be welcome here. And she says, I know what you did. I've been told what you've done, but I wasn't here then. And I've only seen you be a good person since then. And that's what matters to me, which is in a way kind of what Sophia said. Now that I think about it, I hadn't thought about that until now.
I think the way she phrases it is really key. She says, now I'm paraphrasing, but doesn't she say, I wasn't here then, but the person I've seen you become since I've known you deserves a place.
Yes. And that's a little bit more intricate than what,
I mean, she's saying like you've earned your place. You've earned your place at this counter. You've earned your place at this town. And I've seen you like work hard to be right. And I think that's really what pushes Sarah to make the decision she does in this moment where she's not going to do it. Right. She's like, can you pour this water out? Because she's worked too hard except for taking out someone's eye a couple days ago. She's worked hard to be a part of this town.
Yeah. So the point is, after Bacta goes through all this, she feels bad. She feels guilty, whatever, and she dumps the water back. She tells Bacta to dump the water out.
Get rid of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So she decides not to do that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what do you think? Do you think it's just because she's struggling with the choice, and then since she was nice to her, she's kind of like, I don't want to do this to people?
I mean, she does have some intricate choices here, difficult choices. She has been warned that if she doesn't do it, something bad will happen to someone she's close to, and it will keep happening, right? And you can see her struggling. And she decides, she makes what we might call the right choice, or she makes the choice not to, she makes the choice to, we've expressed it as standing up to the voices, standing up to the, not doing what she knows that whatever they're telling her to do, even if she does it, it can't be good, right? Like, she's really between a rock and a hard place here with this decision. But Bhakti gives her what she needs to push her in one direction where she's not going to do it. And then, boom, guess what happens?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, that's why I said she's trying to decide what's going on, what to do. And she really doesn't want to do it. That's why I'm saying it's not like before where she's like, I have to do this to get what we need. She's like, I don't want to do this, but I don't want anybody to get hurt. So yeah, she doesn't do it. And then immediately we hear Sophia scream. And I know as soon as she screamed, I'm like, oh, okay, that's what was going. Like, you totally knew at that point, if you hadn't figured it out, what she was doing. I'm like, she's going to do something to herself. Because she said somebody she cared about would get hurt. And this is a way she could prove it, right? This made it come true, supposedly. Again, I don't know if I really buy Sarah, quote unquote, cares about her. But yeah, she made her believe what they made. The voices, I'm saying she, because Sophia told her, but the voices made her believe that it would hurt people if she didn't do it, and said that if she didn't do it, it would keep hurting more people. So yeah, I suppose it sucked to think you got the newest person in town hurt right away. That's true too.
It would. It's an interesting choice on like Sophia's part here, because we have seen that Sophia can kill the pastor with a touch of her hand, right? And we know that Sophia has the ability to do things to people, to put a voice in someone's head, to do different things. I mean, we don't really know the extent of her quote unquote powers, but so she says like something will happen to someone, Sarah. She positions herself as being really nice to Sarah, and then the voice says something bad will happen to someone close to you. I agree with you. I wouldn't consider them close. They've only known each other for like 2 days, but like she went out of her way to appear to be like one of the nicest people to Sarah, right? And then presumably throws herself into the pool, right? To break her own arm or wrist or whatever. When she could have maybe done something to almost anyone, but maybe if Sophia has to touch you, then it would be too obvious to be like, can you be like, wait, right before whatever, Sophia touched me, right? Like, is it too? So I'm thinking this through out loud while I'm with you guys here, but like, it seems to me that she chose to injure herself, and why. But yeah, I mean, bottom line, it would suck to think you got the newest person in town hurt right away.
Yeah, Lori said, I do think Sophia throwing herself in the pool is kind of lame. You would think an ancient entity would have a smarter plan. You're not wrong, Lori. Yeah. Look, I mean, we don't know. We still don't know how omniscient the Man of Yellow actually is, for sure. We don't know what he can and can't control of the people of the town. I mean, maybe he can't like force people to do things. Maybe that's why they use voices, right? Because maybe he's like, I can't force Sarah to do something. She has to choose it on her own. I mean, there's always that possibility. So but
he can give you a seizure or a stroke with his touch, and he can kill you with his touch.
Well, he can wait, say that again. He kills supposedly Jim. I mean, but he like rips his throat out.
She touched the preacher to make him have a seizure to crash the car, and then she later touches him to kill him in his bed.
No, she choke him or suffocate him or something. She didn't touch him to kill him. I'm trying to remember how she did. Yeah, she can give people.
She touched him and he had a seizure. She touched him and gave him a seizure or a stroke. Right?
You're right. He did. But this is, I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm just saying this is what I believe. Knowing that maybe she can't. I'm saying I think she can't force people to do things. Maybe, right? Not that she can't hurt people. But maybe she has to make them choose that. I don't know. That's just what I think. But my point is the easiest way. if she's saying, if the voices are saying to Sarah, I can make somebody get hurt, the easiest way is for her to hurt herself. I mean, she don't got to do nothing, right? She doesn't have to do something and hide it, because she would have to have somebody get hurt and not let people see. Otherwise it wouldn't work. The ruse would be up. So, and also her getting her to follow the voices, I feel like, is also going to probably help her cause of causing havoc more so than just hurting somebody. I mean, the point is to get Sarah to do what she wants. This is going to do it. That's what I think anyway.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
I mean, she does say it felt like someone pushed me, and then I went in, right?
Totally
what if Sophia didn't pull? What if she didn't jump into the pool? What if that was a future story walker that pushed Sophia trying to kill her? Any plot hole could be a story walker.
Fair, right? I actually kind of like that, but yeah, I mean, I don't think that's the case though. I think it's implying that she jumped in or pretended to fall or, fake fell, whatever. Yeah, I think she transformed her arm to manipulate Sarah. Yes. And as I said last night too, I feel like this pool has got to be, in my opinion, I know not everybody agreed with me, but it looks to me like it's probably at least 10 feet deep. It's an in-ground pool, right? I feel like somebody falling into a cement in-ground pool is going to get more than a broken arm. It may have got a shattered arm. I mean, it would have been more than that.
I don't know about, I mean, it could be 8-10 feet. Yeah, maybe. Some pools are less. I mean, her left arm she's lying on her right side, but her left arm is injured. She's not in the position that I guess she could have rolled over and been like, oh, my arm, right? But I think you could fall that distance and you could jump that distance and not get hurt. Either way, however it happened, I do agree it's possible that she just transformed her arm and didn't necessarily have to jump to break it.
Yeah. Either way, I think that she did it. I mean, I think it's totally just was the whole thing is
self-inflicted, right?
Yes, exactly. I think it's self-inflicted, and I think that this is a way to force Sarah to do what she wants, and I think that's what she's after. The end.
Yes.
That's all, I think all it is.
So what's also interesting is that she has the power to know what Sarah did without having to see it, right? Like she's not in the room when Sarah says
that way. Yes. Unless she is looking through the window at what she's doing. I don't know if she could see that far away. So this does make me think she has at least some form of omniscient powers, but yeah.
Yeah. Or at least over Sarah.
B also says hurting herself is also a way to distract them from noticing the suspicious things about her. It does make her seem more innocent. Oh no, what happened to Sophia, right?
Yeah.
The alarm she broke wasn't the arm she landed on. I want to go back now and watch that, because that to me is really interesting. I would have assumed maybe she rolled over, but I don't know, because we'd have to go back and look.
I mean, she could have just rolled over when she fell, right? I mean, she could be like, oh, my arm's broken, and rolled over.
I think he's shown to be more vulnerable now that we see him as a physical entity. Yeah, but the fact of the matter is, he popped all his bones in his body out to turn into Sophia. So I don't think that actually was him getting hurt, her getting whatever you want to call the man in yellow, Sophia in yellow, getting hurt. If they can move all their bones around, I don't think that was
if you're a shapeshifter, then you can just shift your arm to be broken.
Right. So I do not believe that was an injury that actually hurt, is what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, everybody's very alarmed, and they fish her out of the pool and take her to the clinic to be looked at.
Yeah. Do I think she might fake other illness? I don't know, but you know what would be interesting now that you say that? I could see her faking that people are she's hearing voices, because why not, right? Who knows?
Yeah.
But another injury or a sickness, I would say I don't foresee that happening, but who the hell knows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Neo says Julie pushed her. I think that would be funny, but I don't think Julie pushed her. I don't think so. I do agree that they can use that for any plot hole later. That I do agree with.
Right. Dee was also wondering about how she knew. If Sophia was conjuring something instead of actively being the voices, then the conjured voices might have alerted her to what Sarah did. okay, like there's another something going on that was like, oh, Sarah didn't do the job. You got a job now.
Yeah, maybe.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
So
just a
so they do take so yeah. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, just a reminder to people. I know to begin with. Wait, oh crap! How do I do that? I lose my windows so fast. I have too many things all the time open at once. I apologize. I try to look at things and then I screw up. We do right now have 38 people. Oh no, 33 have liked it. So we've got a lot of people liking the video. But guys, like the video, or I'm going to throw you in the box. I'll keep saying that. Please also hype it if you can. But make sure you subscribe to SciFi Vision if you aren't. I know a lot of people that watch aren't, and we do appreciate it. But I just wanted to remind everybody to please, if you haven't, because it looks like we are probably going to repull for the Avery cameo. So make sure you put hashtag screwdriver into the chat if you haven't, because it will take new entries. If we do not hear back from OSNAP before the end of the show, we'll pull again for somebody else, because we have no way of contacting them, which I hadn't thought about. I mean, Kimberly is right about that. They're not in Discord, at least not under that name. I couldn't find them. So yeah. So make sure you put your name or your entry in. Okay.
All right.
We're in the home stretch. Sorry, what?
We're in the home stretch. We're getting to like the final third of this episode. So, and we're on almost 3 hours. So
yeah,
we're having a good conversation. So now so they're going to take Sophia and they examine her, right?
Yes. Hold on 1 second.
Boy, there's a lot of denim in this shot.
There is a lot. Well, hey,
they're going to examine her now.
Yes, if you're on mobile hype. And Jessica, that is not how you spell screwdriver. I just noticed that. That was a typo, so maybe redo it. Okay. There you go. All right. So anyway, yes. So she runs back in. She immediately, before all that other stuff, she immediately runs back in and does it.
Oh, yeah.
So,
now she does it and does the water.
And then she sits there and watches. Is what goes on.
And she sits there all day to see who's going to drink out of it.
Yeah, because she wants to know what happens. And I don't know. I don't know what she plans to do if somebody drinks out of it, but she sits there and watches.
Well, we find out by the end. We do find out by the end. Oh, it's her plan.
No, but I mean, if somebody did, I don't know what she would have done. Yeah. Okay. So Julia, Jade. Let's try Jade. Jade comes outside to talk to Boyd, and he asks about Fatima because he was listening. And he says that if it wasn't for what he and Tabitha had found out, had remembered, he wouldn't have taken the mushrooms. That the point is he did something crazy because he knew he had to do something drastic, and that everybody thought he was crazy, but this is why he did it. And he's saying the question Boyd shouldn't be asking is, why are you making the golem? The question he should be asking is, why are you making it now? Like, what caused her to think this was something important to do? So that's what gives Boyd the idea to ask that in a little bit. But first we go back to Donna. Okay, so we are at the settlement. She talks about the totems. Not really important other than it's reminding us about the totems for anybody who didn't see it. I'm guessing that's probably the point of that. But she says they're creepy. And she says if we go get more food before dark, then we can leave earlier. And Ethan's like, who cares? We need to go to the Lake of Tears. What I think is, we'll find out.
I mean,
he's like,
who cares is correct. That was just a throwaway dialogue.
I know, kind of was. He's like, we got to go to this lake. Find out if it's the Lake of Tears. So yeah, this is where he's all planning to go there and see with the bird. And there's Roger there. Roger is in multiple shots before he pulls the rope. All right. So then we go back to Julie.
Oh, this was the big moment. This is the big moment of the episode when we see Julie cut her hair.
Now we know that Julie is getting closer in her timeline linearly to finding her dad being, sliced by the man in yellow. She's getting closer because she had this haircut. So she chops it all off and she tells Randall, that monster grabbed my hair. It's not going to happen again. As we, I think, discussed at length last night, I think it would have made more sense to put your hair up in like a bun or something because they could still grab your hair, but that's neither here nor there. She chops her hair off.
Really? Your hair could easily fall out of a bun.
It could, but they also could still grab it the length it is too. So, yeah. It's about even. I think the whole point, in my opinion,
So
her
we
cutting
can
up
identify
her
where Julie's
which
coming
version,
from.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, they used it as a plot point with it getting grabbed, but
Yeah.
Manuel didn't catch Julie due to that haircut, though.
Yeah.
Oh, but anyway, yeah, she chopped her hair off. Okay, so, and I know I'm starting to go faster. I don't want to go too fast. I just don't want to go too slow.
Almost 1 a.m.
Okay, so at the ruins, this is where Julie tells him, this is what the book said. I'm going to take a piece of paper. I am going to bring it with me. And when I get there, I'm going to draw a symbol on it. I'm going to throw it on the ground. I'm going to leave it there. And when I come back, the same symbol will be on the piece of paper in my pocket. And then I can use that to get back. And she says, what's important about this is that if there's a certain place I want to visit, I can write it on the fold in the paper, walk across the threshold, and it'll take me there. And like I said, she does say where and not when, which concerns me. Like maybe that's part of her problem. But she says if it works, it'll change everything. So that being said, clearly, even if this worked, she would still have to actually find the right time. This is only a way to bookmark where she has previously been, according to what she's saying. But a lot of people I noticed on some of the Facebook groups didn't seem to understand this. So I just want to point it out for anybody that didn't understand it. When Julie pulls the piece of paper out of her pocket here, she had already drawn the symbol on it. It was just a way to show what would have happened to like, and Randall's like, you're waiting to do that, right? It didn't actually happen yet. It was just she drew it on the paper because people didn't seem to get that. So I just wanted to point that out. So everybody got that. But yeah, she's about ready to try it. And she only uses the X, I'm guessing, because it's in that picture. And before you tell me, Fletcher, yes, I know you think it looks like a broken infinity symbol. We had that discussion too, which it kind of does. I don't know. I think it looks like an X, but that's me. I don't know. What do you think about that? Let me ask you real quick before we move on.
I think it looks like a badly drawn Chanel symbol with the 2 C's back to back.
Okay, that's fair.
Or Gucci with the 2 G's, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was 2 C's back to back. I think it doesn't matter because I'm going to tell you my theory about this when we get past here. Okay. But she takes her Sharpie, demonstrating, and she's going to go in.
Yeah. Okay, so she walks in and she comes to what is 1978. Now, I have seen pictures of people comparing this. So just to bring up, no, it isn't 100% exactly the same, but they probably could not get the exact same cars. So I'm not even going to go into that. It's supposed to be 1978.
They surely rented those cars from Picture Cars. Maybe they weren't available from the company.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying just me, just because the car is slightly different does not mean it's not 1978, because the picture that I saw, it has a very similar green car and a car that looks exactly the same, a truck that's in yellow. So it's the same time. I'm calling it. I'm saying it's 1978. Star Magic sign. This is the massacre. We've been told by Jade seems to think that whatever happens, the cycle is around every 40 years. The cars look like they could be in the 70s. This is 1978. I mean, I don't know if anybody doubts it, but I'm just saying I think it's 1978. But I know people are saying the cars are slightly different, et cetera, et cetera. I think that's just a prop issue. So anyway, she gets to this place with the bodies. Maze is saying the shadows will probably indicate a different time when Julie's there and young Victor. That may be the case, but also may be the case they filmed it in a different time of day too. So I don't know.
And of course, those two could be there. If they're not here at this exact moment, then we don't really. They could be there at different times of day.
Yeah, they could. The point is, there's a chance that Victor could be around, or he's around at some point near to that. And I know some people were saying that he's going to pick up that paper she threw down. That could be a possibility, which, that we won't know for a while, but it could be a possibility. But yes, Massacre, 1978. Julie sees all the bodies and is understandably freaking out over it because, there's a lot of bodies. I would be too. And then she sees the man in yellow. Now, this is where I have to say it would be nice if more people talk to each other, because she is not one of the people that knows about the man in yellow in the suit. If she did, they could have a really interesting conversation, right?
Yeah, she's
but-
not in on the yellow suit.
Right, exactly.
So
Yeah.
this is the first time we've had a lot of speculation, like when the monsters, when the monsters tear people apart, like, do they eat them? Do they eat it all? What do they eat? We see him eating a guy's liver, right? He's eating the person's liver or a lung or something. And this is the first time we have an indication that, so he eats people. We don't know if all the monsters do, but if all of them
he's
do,
not,
but he does.
look, I don't think he's the same as a monster. So yes, I agree with you. This does not mean that all the monsters do. And thank you, Fletcher. I appreciate that. He put up some of the comparison pictures. I did see some of them though. I know what it looks like, that it is very similar, but it is a little bit different. But yeah, he's not necessarily a monster, but maybe the monsters rip them apart for him to eat. Who knows? Sorry,
I don't know.
go ahead,
the monsters are very, like, you think he's different from the monsters, if there's something different, okay, but if the man in yellow is the big entity, and if it was the man in yellow who tricked the parents into living forever by killing their children or whatever, I'm thinking about this idea that God created man in his image. And if the man in yellow created the monsters, then they might be pretty similar to him, but less powerful. Just like if you believe that God.
Right. But we know they cannot, well, that's not even true. I was going to say they cannot transform. Who knows? Maybe they can. But we're assuming, we're being led to believe they cannot transform, and being led to believe they cannot come out during the day. He can do both, clearly. But yeah, is he the same? And also, I said one thing that's probably not accurate. I said maybe they rip them open and he eats them, but that's also not necessarily accurate, because he slashed Jim's throat. He got the claws too. He could do it too. So he could be slashing them for himself. But you're right. The other entities, you're right. We probably shouldn't call them monsters. Entities actually, they're called nightmare creatures. The other nightmare creatures.
Hey, can you go back?
We don't know.
Can you go back to the liver shot?
Yeah, I just didn't want to keep up the bloody shot the whole time. That's why.
No. But there's a point here to be made. I mean, B's right. He does look more gray, not just pale, right? He looks like a little bit. Maybe he needs to eat. Maybe he's weakened from not eating enough livers, and he's going to get his good color back after he eats it.
Yeah, I know. I'm assuming he eats like other organs, not just livers.
I know. It just looked like the liver to me.
It does look like the liver, and I think of tombs when we talk about this. But there is the whole thing with the bile too. Somebody brought up last night. I don't remember who brought it up, but the whole thing with Smiley and the bile. And I mean, look, that Smiley was like completely desiccated except bile. So that there could be something to that, right? I don't know, but it does definitely look like a liver he's eating, or at least what I think a liver looks like. I guess I technically don't know, but what I've seen on TV to look like a liver, it looks like. I've never actually eaten any kind of liver, so I don't know. But yes, he looks gray and like sort of zombie-ish, and he is covered in blood, so he has to clean that suit.
Yeah, I mean, there are, the point that there are some entities who need to eat to survive. And it's interesting that they made a point to show he's eating the liver, that he's eating the person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bile comes from the gallbladder. Okay. Kaiser says bile comes from the gallbladder. Look,
it does, which
is attached to the liver. Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to say, because I know from X-Files it was bile and it was liver, and that's what I'm going by. I'm not like an expert in bodies.
It could be a lung. It looks like it could be a lung also, Lee. You're right.
It could be.
It's an organ. At any rate, he is shown for the first time we've seen a creature eating human remains.
Yes. But you are right. They could have shown it eating a heart. It's not a heart. It's either a liver or a gallbladder, something. Lung, I don't know. It's not a heart, that's for sure. So anyway, he sees her, and somebody asked before, and I was gonna bring it up, and I forgot. It does look like the clothes these clothes he left behind. It does kind of look like long underwear. I'm not sure about that, but it does kind of look like they are. And yeah, I don't know that it matters what he's eating either, Kaiser. The only reason I was bringing it up was because of the bile.
It just matters that he's eating.
Yes, I think you're right. I think.
So he seems surprised to see Julie. I think this is the first time he has seen
I
Julie.
agree. I think that's probably the case. We don't know that for sure. We're making an assumption, but he does act like he doesn't know who she is, kind of, right? He just goes after her.
Yeah, which would mean like this is as far back as she goes in the story.
Well, because we know that he says, because he's going linearly forward, right? And we know that when he sees her later, when he's with her father, I'm saying later in the linear timeline, he's like, when, I forget what he says. When
did you come from this time? When did you come from this time? He says.
So he knows she's traveling through time. He doesn't say anything this time. He just attacks her, and maybe other times doesn't. Because, so yeah, I don't know. I think it's.
It's also interesting that she's able to go back. Going through time. She's going through the story, really not through time, right? She's able to go back to a point before she entered in the story, before her chapter, before her entry as a character in this. She's able to go back like before her own birth because it's not time travel, it's story travel, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Fletcher's saying people will notice some differences and say it's a different timeline, but this is 78. You see the body that was near the dog and Victor's flashback behind Julie. I agree, Fletcher. Look, let's just say it is not uncommon that if they rented cars that like 2 years later, they could necessarily get the same exact car they rented before. I mean, that's kind of common sense that it would happen. So, I wouldn't be too concerned with the detail. Now, I'm saying that. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'm freaking wrong and they're trying to trick us.
I mean,
I will say one thing.
We're not here to deep dive these details.
No, I know.
On your other show, on your show.
It is most definitely the past. And Hannah said it was the past. So you can absolutely know it's the past because she said that. So just wanted to say that. Okay, so yes, how does he get that clean, Lori? I don't know. It's a lot. I do think the location of the stains are also funny, but like like you said, gravity. There's gravity.
All right, so here she's creating the bookmark.
Yes. Yeah, she's making the
bookmark. She throws it down.
And
she runs.
Runs after her. And thankfully, the 5 seconds in the real world, or not the real world, but the from town world, whatever you want to call it, are up. He pulls her out and she's terrified. But unfortunately, the bookmark did not work. Now, some people have said, is this because she went to the past rather than the future? Is it could it be she needs drawings? I don't know.
I think she's wrong about, I think she could be wrong about how the bookmark works. I agree. Let me finish. I think she doesn't need to leave something. I think she needs to take something from the time that she's visiting. I think what's important about reading the book was to have a bookmark, and that she's misunderstood she assumes the exact mechanism of the bookmark in that story is the same for every story. But in this story, I think Julie needs to take something from a time she wants to return to. I think that's the bookmark.
It could be. We also discussed, could it be dependent on what she has with her? Like, could it be that shirt came from 1978? There's a lot of possibilities.
She's wearing a different shirt right now?
I do not believe she has this shirt on when she story walks in the other episode. I'm pretty sure it's different.
Okay, but she could change her clothes every day in her life.
No. But I'm saying, like, this could be what brought her to 1978 specifically, is what I'm saying. Like, as opposed to 1999. I'm just saying, could that be why? We don't know, is what I'm saying. More than anything is that we don't know. I don't know. I mean, look, a lot of us think that Boyd traveled to the date that he was written on the paper in his pocket, potentially, but he did not necessarily even story walk. It may have been the 12th. There's a lot of unknowns.
Two things can be true. I think the idea that Victor could find that note, and we're going to see that note again, that this is what's his name, Chekhov's note. Like, I think that's totally possible. But I also think that it doesn't work as a bookmark because she just assumed that one got the bookmark she read in that story is not. This is my theory, that she's going to need to take something.
Yeah, Catastrophe says, I like on Nightmare on Elm Street when that girl pulled Freddy's ear out of the dream.
Oh, yeah.
But Fletch is just saying that could be a shirt of a dead person from 78.
Oh yeah, I mean the basement is full of people's clothes from the last years and years and years, right? And they just give you a bunch of clothes.
Yeah.
When you show up.
May says that the clothes she's worn is the sweater, the 3-eyed rabbit, the thrift store. She wears 3 different items in the scene. She is story walked, and this 78 shirt. I'm glad that you've kept track, because I was kind of curious about that. I know when she saw her father, she had on a black jean jacket. I looked it up, but I didn't know what was under it. But yeah, we just don't know. Honestly, we just don't know is the truth. And Doc says, I think drawings and paintings could be bookmarks and stuff in the basement. Yeah, there's so many possibilities. But let me mention to you, Karen, the one thing I wondered, and I did not bother asking this because I know I will not get an answer anyway.
Where she got that ugly shirt?
No, well, yeah, that too. But no, what I was wondering is kind of what you said, like, can she take things? And it makes me wonder if she can't she just like bloop into Jim and grab them and go, right? That would be the easy solution if that actually could work. I don't think it could.
She could take it first. Cool. I mean, there are theories going around that she somehow finds the talismans and she goes back and puts them for Boyd to find. Right. But I think that's too much.
And I think that's an interesting theory, but I think
it's too much to get into right now. But in terms of a bookmark, I just think she has the mechanism backwards, and she's like read too much into the book that she read.
Yeah. Catastrophe says it could be something Acosta finds in storage. I'm only putting that up because I was going to say the other thing we did talk about, which me and you haven't talked about. I just wanted to say that I do think is an interesting theory, not to do with this, but that, like, what if Acosta finds like something from whenever Sophie, like if Sophia was somebody, like an actual person, could find like a picture or something from one of the other cycles, and then like they could recognize or something. That'd be cool. That's all I'm bringing up. No idea. Okay, so anyway, what happened? I went backwards. Okay.
All right. She gets back, and look at the look of horror on her face that it hasn't worked.
Yeah, she's like, oh no. Yeah, it didn't work. Okay. So then we go to Victor, and we're getting near done, guys. Just hang around, and if we don't hear from Snap, we'll pull for another winner. But we're almost done, so just hang with us a little bit yet. Because it's only fair to at least wait till the end. We don't want to do it early. Okay. So Victor is near the peach truck, and he's digging up his drawings. He's answering his father, who asked about the man in yellow. And he pulls out the drawings. Now, whether these would have really survived is another issue. But but the glasses could have belonged to anybody, really, that got him from. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So he gives him the drawing and says that he looked over at his mother, and he saw the man in yellow eating her. And this is what he told himself didn't happen. And since this is a review, I do want to ask you, because I think that I love this scene. I think that Scott McCord is so awesome in this scene because he is totally like downplaying it. Like Victor like barely responds. He isn't scared. He isn't freaking out because it's like he is so numb to this. Like he just doesn't deal with it. That's why he quit making the pictures, right? I just really like the way that this played out. I think that he did a really good job in this scene. So did Robert Joy. Is that his name? Robert Joy. But I just wanted to say that. But yeah, he saw the man in yellow eating his mother. He did say Miranda, not Eloise. We also, a lot of people were questioning that. And yes, she died at the bottle tree from Smiley. He ate her after she was dead. So, yeah. This is very sad. Yes.
Horrifying. Yeah, horrifying.
It is horrifying. Okay, wait. B says, what if she's left a paper with that symbol there? He can write it on her paper back there. She needs to leave things there and remember what she left there. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe B, maybe. Okay. So anything to add to this?
No, I forgot what I was going to say because my brain now went back to bookmarks. There's nothing more to say. I mean, the point is Henry's horrible. It's horrible. It's we now have it's big because we have confirmation of like when and where Victor saw the man in yellow. and that he was eating people then too. This is what he does, right?
Yes,
But
we are
something-
assuming that this is the same time. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, and there's confirmation that we know that Smiley killed her.
Yeah, we already know that.
Come on. I'm trying to put the comment up, but I can't. That Smiley killed her, but now we know Men in Yellow came and ate her. So, like, do the creatures like kill his food for him?
Yeah,
or is it some ritual that he performs? Right.
Right. But there is nothing in my opinion, to suggest that who Julie saw eating was his mother, because people were saying that doesn't look like Amanda. There was nothing to suggest it was. So
no, she wasn't killed there. Yeah.
Yeah, she was killed at the bottle tree. He ate her later. As for the clothes, I don't know. Maybe he didn't have all the colors for crayons. That I don't know an answer to. And Fletcher says, I don't think Eloise is alive at this point. Jade risked her name on the notes and wrote died by. So Eloise's dad, sadly, maybe Julie gets to see her death. In my opinion, I don't think this tells us anything about Eloise. He thinks that she was eaten. The fact that he never found her body, I question, means she might not be dead. But again, we don't know. It tells you neither answer.
I mean, he only found bits of his mom to bury, so he could find none of her.
Yeah, he said something like he thought that it was all gone or whatever, but that's not indicative of finding. That's not proof.
Henry's horrified, and I mean, there's like a double whammy here. Like, it's horrifying to know that your wife was eaten, but also that his son saw it, and this is like a defining moment that, like, I feel like I often say that like Victor is stunted, and like this is the moment I think that like arrested Victor's development and left him eternally.
Oh yeah, I agree with you, because he acted pretty normal as a kid. Not that he's abnormal now. I shouldn't say that because I don't mean it like that. But yes, I agree with you. I think that this could definitely be that defining moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we have Sophia and them fixing her arm, but they have to wait till the swelling goes down. She says it's a test. And as she's talking about this,
she's freaking annoying, isn't she? It's another test from, oh my God, enough.
Okay, she is annoying. But the point of this is where Sarah is watching the water and Bacta pours it out. So nothing happened. And this is where Sophia talks about the story of Abraham, and that he had an unshakable faith and obedience to God. And one day God tested him, ordering him to kill his only son as a way to prove his faith. But at the last moment, God intervened and offered a ram to be sacrificed instead. So, yeah, I mean, and she says, God never intended for Abraham to kill his son. He simply needed to know if he would. So I mean, that explains this whole thing. Would she listen to the voices?
Well, I mean, that story is about like Abraham showing that he loved God and trusted God so much that he would do what God asked of him, right? Even though it was like abhorrent to him. I think, two things I think about this Abraham story. One is like, boy, the man in yellow is not just masquerading as a pious young woman. The man in black, the man in yellow like knows some scripture, right? Like, the story of Abraham is it's a pretty well-known story. You don't need to be like a religious scholar to know that story, but quote scripture, all this stuff. Like the man in yellow knows all this stuff. Number one. Number two, do you like, so telling the story to Julie and whatever about to Christy about being tested, I don't know. It feels a little bit like spoon feeding to the audience what she was up to with the glass of water there, that it was just a test of Sarah.
Really? I just thought it was really creepy. I really liked that part. As Catastrophe is saying, I said, and I still agree, I think that this to me was the really interesting part of the end of the episode. And I think they should have reordered it. So this was the very end. I liked it. I think her saying God just needed to know if he would. I mean, she's saying nothing was going to happen. She's just proving that Sarah will still listen to her or them or whatever, that he can control them control her.
I mean, it's a little bit, I don't know about that. This was a very small ask. like drink out of water and you know, like it wasn't like kill a little boy. It like
no, but this is the implication that even with what happened, she's still gonna do it, or it will.
I mean,
depending
it was
what it is.
terrifying. I just take issue with the idea that Sarah will do anything it asks. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Not necessarily, but it's more just the way that it was laid out. I like.
And I think the story of Abraham is a little bit. I mean, I get. Look, it's perfectly fine, but you know what Abraham does? Abraham makes that choice out of like, it's a total faith in God and like more of a loving relationship, and this is out of fear. Like Sarah's. This is out of fear, right? It's a test. That means she's afraid enough. But if this is a test, this means it wasn't the man in yellow controlling voices prior to this. Why would he need to test Sarah if he's already used the voices against her before? It is kind of weird.
Well, I think like because it seemed like she was not going to listen to, like she had known that the voices were wrong. Like Elgin was so like entranced by the voices, did what they said, where Sarah was like, voices are bad, you can't listen to the voices. And maybe, who knows, maybe only certain people can be controlled by voices or whatever. But my opinion is it's like Sarah knew the voices were bad, but yet she still listened. I don't know, it was just to prove that he had control, I think.
I mean, so I like Catastrophe's point here. Like the point of this was just to leave no confusion about if Sophia injured herself on purpose or not. There's no question that Sophia was she's saying she was maybe pushed, she fell, whatever, but it absolutely was
no confusion about that to me. But
I guess I just take issue. I don't think Sarah has loyalty to whatever voice.
No, it was definitely not about loyalty. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Testing fear, but I think just the point is that he can control her. And Lee's right with what he says. Sarah was changing and becoming strong. She was fighting the voices and he broke her again. Yeah. Proved that.
Yeah.
Listen to them now.
Yep.
And but I do also, and we said this earlier, I do also think that this is a big difference, though, that there's a big difference between do this to go home and do this or I will hurt somebody. I mean, that's like preventative rather than, there's a big difference, but it's still control either way. And then
I mean, Patty's early comment tonight, it's unfair to blame Sarah for her brain being damaged and invaded. I agree with you. And there are some people who are still blaming Sarah. I think in this conversation, in this chat, we mostly have come around that like, it's amazing how they've made Sarah like a more sympathetic character after the thing she did in season 1, right?
Yeah, and I'm not saying I blame Sarah for making that choice either. I mean,
I'm not saying you do. I mean, that comment was made. I pulled that comment out of context.
No, I'm just saying, yeah.
He made that comment during a different conversation at a different time.
It does make me wonder, though, if the animal was a ram and not a goat. But I know you don't want to go into that, and we had this conversation last night, so we will. Yeah, they're all living in terror, Lee. I think that's part of it. Where everybody is.
So all right. So you think that would have been a good dramatic ending to the episode?
I do. I thought her saying that with showing Sarah, I thought was very creepy. And you didn't. So you didn't take the scene or feel the same about the scene. So I guess it just depends how you felt it.
I think Sophia's always creepy.
Sorry.
I think Sophia is always creepy. She's always creepy. Yeah. I'm not saying she wasn't creepy, but I was a little so.
I guess I just think this scene was much more dramatic than something's in the water, which I get a lot of people want to know what's in the water. I'm not saying that they don't or they shouldn't. To me, this was the better ending.
We have two more big things that happen after this.
Yeah. Okay. So back to Boyd and Kenny talking to Fatima.
Oh my God! Enough! All right, enough with the golem, right?
Boyd asks her why, and but this is probably important. She says that she can still feel the things she carried inside of her, like they're connected. A part of her feels what Smiley feels. And Boyd questions, do you think this will break the connection? And she says, doesn't answer, but says it goes both ways. He feels what she's feeling too. And he knows she's afraid, and he likes she's afraid. And that making this golem makes her feel strong and less afraid. And it's the way she knows how to fight back. So, I mean, this to me means it's more about helping her trauma, that less so than actually thinking it's going to come to life. Whether it does or not, it's another issue. But yeah, she's saying, this makes me feel strong. I don't want him to think I'm weak. This is how I fight back. Is kind of what that whole scene says. I don't know that it's, again, the most interesting part of the episode, but it explains, what Jade needed to know is why now.
Well,
And I think the important thing to take away, is she somehow thinks she's connected to Smiley still, which could be very bad, right? I guess we'll have to see.
Like,
or if it's even true, right? I mean, she could just feel like that. Who knows? But I'm thinking in this town, it probably is more than just feels it.
She could just be postpartum. But there is the point that people, like, we just saw what happened to Sarah when she got strong and felt better and fought back, right? And like, is this just putting her in the sights of the town even more than she already is, right?
Yeah. Lee, to answer your question, why would you build something to make the connection strong so confusing? She's not saying it makes the connection strong. She's saying it makes her feel strong because he knows she's scared. So she's saying this makes her feel better. And so he doesn't see her as being weak and scared. Not that their connection is stronger. It just, it's making her seem brave to him, she hopes.
Oh no, I think it's about making herself seem brave to herself.
Well, that too. But what she says is that it's to make so he doesn't see her being scared.
All right.
And anyway,
yeah.
Okay.
I didn't really read it that this was about sending a message that I'm not scared, but just about making herself not feel scared.
It could definitely be that too. You're right. But I'm just saying that's what she said. I mean, she said he saw her being weak.
It was very Kaiser. I agree. It was very boring. Like she took up a lot of this story. There was a lot of minutes put on her in this episode, and it was just her like playing with mud pies and people talking about it, right?
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that in the way that I look at it is I hope that there's a payoff. Right. Yeah. I mean, we don't know what the payoff is going to be, but hopefully this is a good payoff and we will be saying, oh, that makes sense. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So ring falling down the stairs. There's a random ring coming down. He picks it up and it is, lo and behold, looks exactly like his wife's ring. It has the infinity symbol in it that we saw earlier.
Yeah.
So he takes Jade with him, rushes back to his room. He looks for his wife's ring. And I remember thinking as he did this, don't set it down. He sets the ring down, pulls the other ring out, looks at it, they're the same, and looks back, it's gone. So what does it mean? I don't know that this necessarily means anything. He could be imagining it. It could be the town's fucking with him. I don't know. Here we go, another Boyd's Nation.
This is what Boyd's 10,000th Boyd's Nation board. I mean, that is a very slow moving storyline. And like every now and then, like we remind ourselves that his Parkinson's is advancing because he only seems to have Parkinson's when it's convenient for the show. Is this a Parkinson's hallucination?
I don't know. Christy said that it shouldn't be giving him hallucinations that early in Parkinson's. So
okay, you also shouldn't have a baby like 5 days after you conceive it, right?
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think a lot of it, honestly, is just his trauma over his wife. This felt like the ghost in the Maggie's house. Could be.
Oh, maybe Jim snatched it, or the ghost snatched it. Fletcher's pretty convinced it's a hallucination, and is not. I mean, there was the Abby, there was the ballerina. Like he's seen a lot of stuff, and it's not ever. Yeah. Going any, he never tells anyone, it never results in anything. He sees it and then it's never seen it happens again, right? He has these one-off hallucinations that don't pay off.
Right. And I'm definitely assuming at this point, since they didn't go back to it, that the whole like thing with the hands coming up from the ground didn't really happen, I don't think, right? That was like, I took it as that was the hallucination. So
I don't know. I mean, it grabbed him. Right?
Did. Okay. Fair enough. I don't know. I assume that after. I mean, look, this could not be a hallucination either, though. For all we know, we're just saying that. So, yeah, I don't know.
But alternatively, then it has to be like magic, which I don't.
Yeah.
Like, I can
And
believe
I'm only saying to me it makes sense with hallucinations because like he keeps seeing himself shooting his wife, right? Like he's going through trauma, he keeps dreaming stuff, having nightmares. So to me, I thought that's what they were trying to say, but they don't come back to it. We don't, if they don't like explain it, then how do we know, right?
I mean, I guess to me, the Parkinson's is like an underdeveloped storyline. You give him Parkinson's, but we don't really see, sometimes we'll see Boyd's hand shake and then he tries to hide it so nobody sees it. But I feel like there's not time for them to develop his character in that direction.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to, I guess, wait. It's my answer for everything. Wait and see. Okay. Pulling up
Karen,
the camera.
can we donate for a new camera? Your 10 FPS is killing me.
And that's what I said. You said it was your VPN because you're using the Wi-Fi there.
I do have a VPN that turns itself on and off all the time. But I
was gonna say, can you turn the VPN off or can you not? I didn't know if you were perfect.
It turns itself on and then I have to go into it and turn it off again.
Okay.
My office installed it. I don't have control over it. I can't delete it. I can't reset the amount of time it takes. I can't do anything with it.
Okay, because you're on your work. Okay, you're on your work laptop. Got it.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. I didn't think it was your camera because sometimes it's fine and other times it's spotty.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, so they are pulling up cabbage. Okay, wait. Lori says, I agree with Boyd's hallucinations are due to his grief. She agrees with me. I don't know. That's what to me it seems like, but who knows? Okay. So hello, Pete. We're trying to steer clear of I know that's from the original trailer, not from the new ones, but we're not. Karen does not watch trailers, so we're kind of steering clear.
I'm not the only one who doesn't in this.
No, I know, but that is from the original trailer. I know.
I just always say Karen doesn't watch trailers. Like the whole world has to give them to me.
Karen, I'm just teasing you.
I would love it.
Most people don't watch the new trailers though, and I agree. You probably shouldn't. I think they give away too much.
Okay, here's this dumb bird, and this kid. Ethan wants to he's going to baptize the bird in the lake. I thought he was going to dunk the bird in the water, but they end up sprinkling the water on the bird, right?
Yes, they do. And no, she is not Fletcher, other than the part of them putting my quote in the trailer because I showed them.
Did not see. Neither AJ and I both have not watched the season 4 trailer.
No, but you've seen. That's why I said you've only seen the.
We did not watch the overall season trailer. We've been burned too many times. So anyway, here they're at the lake for the bird in the lake.
Yeah, anyway, so they're testing if it works. They put the water, and honestly, we don't know if it works yet because they end the episode before we find out, right? So is it the Lake of Tears?
Here's where it really does not look like a starling to me with all those white feathers. I've never seen a starling that was light in color, but maybe where I live, they don't fly here.
It's more like white on the tips of the back. I don't know. I will later. I don't want to go dig the photos up now. Dieter was nice and sent them, and they do. It does to me look very similar to some of the photos. So I think it depends which bird which pictures you're looking at. But I do think that that's not a real bird right there. So European starlings. There you go. It looks like a European starling. Okay. So anyway, we don't find out what happens with the water. Instead, we see the rope. Now, is this, I'm sorry, Karen, nobody ever knows except for me, and I've been saying this since yesterday. Did this not make you think of Lost as soon as you saw this?
Yes, because there was that cable they found, yeah.
Yeah, the cable in the water.
Exactly.
Okay, I just had to say that.
The music, at several points in this episode, the music was a little losty also.
Look, I think it sounds so much like Michael Giacchino all the time, and I know it isn't, but to me it sounds like it's copied from that, so that's all I'm going to say.
I'm sorry, but if I live in Fromville and I went to this creepy settlement, no way would I be like, I wonder what this rope goes to. Let me pull it.
I know, exactly. I like that though. If the bird gets fixed, his name is Darth Said.
Yes.
Did the bird make the water go crazy? That's my question. Yeah, some people think that the bird is what pulled whatever this is. I assume that the rope pulled it up, but I guess the bird.
I think it's the rope. I think it's the rope.
Maybe the bird made the rope longer.
Partly because the bird wasn't dunked. I feel like the bird wasn't dunked in the water. It had water sprinkled on it. And that's one reason why I feel like the bird didn't affect the water. And the water didn't affect the bird.
You think that for them to find out, then they actually have to dunk the bird as opposed to what they did.
I mean, I thought so, but I also feel it's not the Lake of Tears because we're not going to discover the Lake of Tears
I don't
in
think
episode 4.
I don't think it is either. Okay, anyway, he pulls the rope, doesn't ask anybody their opinion, which is rude. But Roger pulls the rope, and they all stare as something covered in seaweed comes up from the water, and that is where it ends.
You have a close-up on that?
No, that was I mean, I can zoom in, but that was like kind of as good as.
So it's definitely a lot of seaweed.
Yes.
It does not like. So Roger's not standing near there. It definitely is.
It's in the middle of the lake. It's like in the middle of it, sort of.
Yeah, and so we see the reaction shot from these three in the background. We don't see the reaction shot from Roger's side, right?
No,
like this is like when I look at the shot, I do feel like maybe it's set up for you to think that it's the bird that caused this and not the rope. So some people think this looks like a mass of bodies.
It does sound like bodies, I think.
The first time I watched it, I was like, who threw all those cabbages in the lake? And then I watched it a second time and I was like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
The Loch Ness spider. Penny Scott, the Loch Ness spider.
Yeah, I don't know. I never even, I mean, until people started saying it, I never thought that the bird had anything to do with that. Unless the bird made the rope appear. I think the rope pulled it up. I think that was what it was, implying. That he pulled the rope and it was because if you look, the rope went into the water. It extended out into the water. I don't know if you can tell in this picture, but
I think the rope either pulled it up. The rope either pulled it up or released it from whatever was holding it down.
Right. Or the rope. I know I didn't get it in the picture, but the rope did go into the water. It went all the way in the water. So I'm assuming that it was connected to it. And yeah, we talked about starling magic, star magic. Maybe who knows? But yeah, something creepy, that's for sure. It doesn't look good. It looks creepy, and it's probably something bad, I'm guessing, but who knows? Yeah, and just a reminder, because I know some people think they know what it is. I'm not saying whether they're right or not, but some people think they know what it is because of the trailer. So please, just at least in the chat, give it to yourself, and if you want to talk about it in Discord, that's fine. And yes, it is two things at the same time, Lee. You're right. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm just saying I think it's the rope. But I'm not always right. So, all right. So anyway, that's the end of the episode. Do you have anything else to add specifically that you want to say, you guys? We're going to do the giveaway in a second. I'm just giving her a chance to wrap up. Is there anything else you want to add? I think I've pretty much said about everything about the episode.
No, I would say that next week is
episode 5.
And then we're going to have a break. That's the last episode before Memorial Day, right?
Yes. And we are going to, as I said before, although I got to get it set up, we are going to do something for that week. I don't know whether we're going to do it. I'm guessing we're probably going to do it Monday since you guys can't do Sunday. And I'm assuming Scarlett hopefully can do Monday. We'll do it so we all can. But we're going to do a special on that week since From isn't out. We're going to do some trivia, but we're also going to do like some stuff, maybe some trivia on us, because we're going to celebrate. We still haven't we have over 2,000 subscribers to YouTube, and we have over 1 million hits, 1 million views. So we're going to have a little celebration / game night. So make sure you guys tune in to that. And don't forget also, of course, on the 3rd, we have Liz Saunders coming live. But we'll have some surprises for you guys on that day. That is like when it's off, the week it's off. I don't know. It'll probably be Monday, I'm guessing, like I said, but I'm not entirely sure. Just keep clicking Discord for it. I did not see OSNAP come back. Did anybody see OSNAP come back? I really feel bad if they left because of what we said about the trailer, because nobody wanted them to leave, and I have no way of contacting them. I feel bad if they did, but there's not a lot I can do about it.
Yeah.
I mean, all I can say is, maybe next time we have a giveaway, we'll give them something if they come back. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, well, I don't know, but they seemed like I thought maybe he thought that we were yelling at them. I don't know, but either way, he's not here. So there's not a lot I can do about it. If I see him, I will tell him and we'll figure out something. But for now, he's not on Discord, can't contact him. Not my fault. All right, guys. Well, please, like I said, make sure you look forward that time. If you're not a member of our Discord, please join because you can get a link to our schedule. We have From watch parties on Saturday night at midnight, the moment the episode comes out. On Sunday at 9 Eastern, we also have our deep dive that I do with Scarlett at 10:30 Eastern on Sundays. And then, of course, our live today. Tomorrow night at 10 Eastern, we have Phantom Access, where we're going to be talking about the Daredevil finale, Widow's Bay, episode 3, and also For All Mankind. So join us for that. And then Thursday at 8:30, because we have 2 episodes. We're going to have a watch party for Widow's Bay 3 and 4. And then our live is going to be Thursday at 11. That's with me, Scarlett, and Jen. And then on Friday, we're doing Punisher. I don't know if you guys are going to come or not. You're welcome to come, but we're going to be doing Punisher. We will be. Oh no, we can't talk about Punisher tomorrow because we haven't. It doesn't come out till Wednesday, so that won't be on Phantom Access. That'll be on Phantom Access next week. Yes, I hope that's just my thought, Leah. I just didn't want him to think like we were mad or something because we weren't trying to be. Okay, that's okay, Karen. I figured you didn't. It's fine. All right. So no, there is a From episode next week, Fletcher. It's the holiday. There's none that weekend or that week. I mean,
yeah, Fletcher doesn't live here. It's a holiday in the United States, and so MGM is not broadcasting.
Think about it. He's in Portugal.
It's the first weekend of summer here in the U.S. and everyone goes on vacation, and so they're not showing an episode.
Yeah, I don't know. And Pete, I've heard The Punisher is an hour, but I honestly don't know. So I don't know, but we'll find out. As long as it's only an hour, our watch party will be at 9:30. If it's 2 hours, we'll move it to 8:30, but I think it's 1 hour. I think the weekend before Memorial Day, right? Yes, I believe it is the weekend before a Memorial Day, is, I believe, the
Memorial Day is Monday, May 25th. And so we have an episode coming this coming week, the week that we're in this Sunday, and then there will be a week off.
Yeah, the week off is the week we're gonna. I'm saying that backwards. The week off is the week we're gonna do the games and everything. So yeah, that'll be, and you'll learn some stuff about us. So it'll be lots of fun, and hopefully we'll have some surprises too.
I won't be here.
Oh, that's right. Shit, you're not gonna be here. Well, we'll tell you stuff about Karen. We'll talk about Karen while she's not here.
Talk about me. You can, and one of your questions could be, where is Karen right now?
Yeah.
Because
bonus points to anybody who remembers where Karen's at. Where is Karen going to be? You're going to be in Paris that weekend, aren't you?
I'm going to be in Paris, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, people remember that. If we ask you that, now you know the answer ahead of time. Okay. So yeah, that's it for now. But please make sure you do join us in Discord and tomorrow. And if you're not a subscriber of Sci-Fi Vision, please subscribe. We really need the subscriptions. You get notifications, and if you join as a member of Survivor tier or above, I do release some of the interviews, especially the From interviews, a little bit earlier, not before embargo's up, but a little bit earlier to those members as one of the perks. So there's that as well. I'm with you, Scarlett. I don't get to go on vacation, so I got no money to go on vacation. but yeah, so that's all the stuff. Please like the video and hype it if you have it on mobile. All right, let's do the giveaway. We will pull another name.
Oh my God, it only took 3.5 hours to get to this. Woo!
Yes, it took 3.5 hours. Okay,
AJ would have lost his mind and made us stop like 2 hours ago.
Yeah. Well, look at it this way. We only got people who actually listened to our show and stayed to do it. And to be fair, I did in the description say you had to be here. So it really wasn't,
Actually, this proves that people don't just come here for AJ, Jamie.
Yeah, I know, right? Nobody cared AJ was. Yeah, we'll have to tell them. Nobody cared you weren't here. No, I'm kidding. Okay. All right. I'm going to start the drawing.
All right, spin it, sister. Spin it.
Here we go. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Do 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 do. B won. Woo! Go! Yay! Congratulations, B. And I obviously congratulations. And obviously, B, you can only enter once, Neo. So you guys were already entered. You're okay. You were in before. But B is the winner, and I already obviously know how to message you. So yeah. I will find out what you need to get. I need to get from you and from Kimberly, and we will get it. And thank you once again, Kimberly, for donating that. It is very, very much appreciated. And Justice for Aging. And if you do hear from OSNAP, please people tell me, because we are going to be having other giveaways. We can at least give them something else for a different giveaway if we do hear from him, because I do feel bad if he like shows up 5 minutes from now and then like doesn't get it, or watches it later and doesn't get it. So we will do something. But yeah, B ain't even paying attention. Well, B, there you go. Congratulations. Really happy. And that's awesome. So yeah, you will get a message from Avery. I think you might need to know too what you want her to say. So I don't know, but I'll talk to you about that outside of the chat. All right. Thank you, everybody. We will see you soon. It's 1:30 here, so I need sleep.
All right.
But thanks a lot. I might be on. I'm going to try to make it to Squawking Dead tomorrow. I keep saying that. I got so much going on this week, but it kind of depends how I feel, because I have been sick. I am feeling better, so I think I should be okay. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But all right, everybody, thank you for coming. We appreciate it, and please subscribe. I know that more percentage of people aren't subscribed than are, so subscribe, or I'll throw you in the box. All right, thank you so much, guys. We appreciate it, and we will see you at the next one.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.